December in Steelers country. It's a big game with major playoff implications, and the fans and the visiting Broncos know it.
Hey, look around. That's all we got.
This is where the cream starts rising right here. It's got to start right here. We're going to win big games on the road. This is our first chance. Broncos on three. 1, 2, 3.
Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. The Denver Broncos 11-2. The Steelers 9-4. Broncos know they have to win on the road now or play on the road in the upcoming playoffs. Their lead against Kansas City shrinking, and Pittsburgh shares with Jacksonville at 9-4. The AFC Central laid in part of the pressure of this week, and the bigness of this game is the fact that the Steelers locked the gates on the press.
They did, and at the beginning of the week, they sent us their starting defensive lineup, and this is what it looked like when we got it at the beginning of the week. Now, they closed practice for really the main reason, keep Denver from not knowing what they were doing. And here's what happened. They put Chad Scott in a corner, Carnell Lake moves to another corner, and Myron Bell comes in. And the biggest thing about this is they want to get their four best defensive players on the field, primarily the two biggest corners.
Well, if they haven't guessed already, Phil, John Elway is going to look at that secondary, and what might he think?
He's going to be surprised because John Elway and the Denver Broncos believed they could take advantage of Chad Scott when he was in there on third downs. Now he's going to look out there and see that he's a starter. How will that change the Broncos' game plan? We'll have to wait and see. On the other side, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cordell Stewart. Everybody's been complaining, getting off to those slow starts, not doing a good job in the first half, but been very good in the second half. The coaching staff says, we'll try to change it today. Come out, throw the football. Him throwing it, running the football, that's the best game plan for the Steelers.
Well, you can see from the picture, no lack of confidence in the face of Cordell Stewart. The opening kickoff coming up.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh. I'm Jim Graham, now joined by Mike Shanahan. Mike, there's a playoff atmosphere. Would you agree that the playoffs actually begin for the Broncos today, because anything that happens will impact the Broncos and the Super Bowl and the playoffs all the way throughout?
Jim, I agree. It's, home field advantage, possible, obviously the bye. A lot of implications right here. Same for Pittsburgh. Great atmosphere.
Go get your headsets on. Only difference is, Dick, the loser doesn't go home. Up to you.
That is the good news in this 60,000 sellout at Three Rivers. Have the terrible towels out as Jason Elam sends it toward Blackwell and Andre Coleman. It's Andre Coleman, the former Charger, at the 25 and down at the 28. And we should see some ferocious hitting through the course of this game. Cordell Stewart, his best play has been in the second half, as Phil Simms has noted, but responsible for 25 of the Steeler touchdowns, passing or rushing. His blockers, Jackson Wolford, the perennial Pro Bowler Dawson at center, Stye and Strelzik in the backfield. Jerome Bettis, number 3 rusher in the league. Lester is his blocker. Thigpen and Johnson the wideouts. Mark Bruner regarded as one of the better tight ends in the league. First play to the bus, Bettis, and he does not get back to the line of scrimmage as Neil Smith is there to lead the defensive charge for the Broncos. Steve Atwater as well. As we look at the Bronco defense, they align themselves 4-3. Smith, the former chief. Keith Traylor having a solid season. Trevor Price for the injured Tanavasa and Alfred Williams. Mobley, Aldridge, Romanowski the backers. Crockett and Gordon at the corners. Atwater and Braxton the safeties.
Don't do that. Be nice.
On 2nd and 11, Stewart's first throw is juggled, incomplete. Johnson juggling as he headed to the sidelines and ruled out of bounds. Steve Atwater covering.
The one thing about the game plan for the Pittsburgh Steelers offensively, and you said at the beginning, Phil, it is so true. Get Cordell Stewart in the game early. They tried it on the second play.
Well, they tried. The reason the Steelers want to come out and throw the ball, the Denver Broncos, Paul, they pressure the line of scrimmage more than any team on defense in the National Football League. They're going to make the Steelers win today by throwing the football, they hope.
Third down and 11, and George Jones, the rookie from San Diego State, into the backfield. Stewart back into the shotgun on 3rd and 11. Throws to the sidelines and hit immediately as Courtney Hawkins. Short gain, but a flag goes down. It's either a punting situation for Pittsburgh, but if it's against Denver, and a holding penalty could give the Steelers a first down. Holding, it is against Denver, and so that carries the automatic first down. So instead of stopping Pittsburgh on their first possession, Mike Shanahan
on the defense, number 39, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Here's the bad news from Ray Crockett holding.
Well, that is bad news. The Denver Broncos, they do a good job. They pressure the quarterback. Ray Crockett, ball's in the air, still has his hands on the receiver. That's one of the reasons why it's a penalty.
You can get in front of a receiver, Dick, but you just can't grab onto him. And once you grab on it, right now they throw the flag.
Broncos are the most penalized team in the NFL this year, and take a big bite early. Well, there's full start on that snap.
Brandon Sty, number 68, the guard gets out a little bit too early. He's the right guard.
Full start prior to the snap. Offense number 68, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Our referee is Walt Coleman today.
There's Brandon Sty right here. He just gets up out of his stance. Actually, both guys got out. Strolzik himself, they get up together. Well, you see the guy next to you move, you're going.
Might as well.
First down and 15 at the 28. Johnson in motion. A fake to Bettis. Stewart on the roll. The throw to the sidelines and well out of play as Charles Johnson covered by Crockett. Cordell Stewart, young man from Colorado, a winner everywhere he's played. 14 straight years the teams on which he's played from middle school through the NFL have been in the playoffs. 12.7 yards per completion, 17 touchdowns this year throwing, and 8 more rushing the football.
You know, Dick, Cordell Stewart, you said he's had success at every level. He comes to pro football, rookie year. He creates a new position that's never been in the National Football League. The slash, do a little bit of everything. Confident quarterback.
Now Bettis up the middle. Trying the middle of that defense of the Broncos and able to pick up just a couple to the 30-yard line. Will bring up third down and long. Keith Traylor and Trevor Price in on the tackle.
The Denver Broncos, we said earlier, their big job on defense, the running game, we all know about Pittsburgh's running game. They want Cordell Stewart to have to stand in the pocket, throw the ball down the field, and we'll give you a shot later. They are crowding 8 and 9 people up there every single play, trying to make the Steelers throw the football.
The Steelers here with 4 wide receivers. Stewart in the shotgun, no one with him. And on third down and 12, he goes long. Some contact, but no flag, as Darius Johnson was hawking Yancey Thigpen.
Well, I tell you, this was excellent coverage by Darius Johnson. He just stayed with Thigpen the entire way, and he had him man-to-man.
And the other thing, Paul, here's how they're going to try to take care of Cordell Stewart, the runner. You got 2 linebackers on the outside, 2 defensive linemen, and then you have what they call a spy. He's watching Cordell the whole time. If he runs, he's going to run with him.
Mobley and Glenn Cadrez, linebackers, will share that responsibility. Mike Shanahan told us Darian Gordon, best in the league. Punt returns averaging over 14 yards a return, 3 touchdowns this year. Josh Miller, the left-footed kicker, spins one to the 27. Gordon 30 and to the 37-yard line. And we have our first timeout underway in Pittsburgh. No score. Pittsburgh, a city of bridges, over 700 here in this great football town. Gary Zimmerman, Diaz Infante, Nealon, Habib Jones, the offensive line. Broncos, Elway at quarterback. Davis leads the league in rushing. Griffith the blocker. Smith, Willie Green starts for Ed McCaffrey. And Shannon Sharp leads all NFL tight ends in catches. So Will Davis on first down, and they got him for a loss at the 34. As Earl Holmes, the middle linebacker, in on the stop. Holmes, a second-year backer from Florida A&M, and here are the Steelers. 3-4 linemen. Harrison Steed, regarded as maybe the best nose tackle in the league, along with Henry on the front wall. Gilden, Kirkland, Holmes, Dante Jones for Greg Lloyd, who won't play. Staph infection in his foot. Scott, the rookie, at one corner. Carnell Lake moves from safety to corner with Perry and Bell at safety. Elway fighting the noise of the crowd. Second and long. Gives to Davis. Davis fights his way to the 39-yard line. And it'll be third down and 8.
Well, the one thing
thing about the Broncos, we know they got the number 1 rusher in football. They want to run the football. But the thing about John Elway, when you talk to him, Phil, he wants matchups, and I think he's got that today.
That's what Mike Shanahan is really good at, creating good matchups for his offense. The defense, the Steelers, the big thing they want to do, we know they want to stop the run, but don't let Shannon Sharp beat him in the passing game.
Janelle Wolford and Chris Oldham come in for the Steelers in the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Elway from the shotgun to the sideline. Incomplete. Broken up as Willie Green had his hands on it, and Chad Scott, the rookie from Maryland, able to reach in and bat it away.
I'll tell you, the matchup that Elway wanted is on Scott, and he goes right to him right away. There's one-on-one coverage on the outside, but that is outstanding coverage.
Chad Scott, the number 1 pick of the Steelers, the 24th overall player selected in the opening round this year. Tom Ruin to punt, averaging 42.5. Will Blackwell at the other end for the Steelers on a booming spiral. Blackwell all the way to his 5. 10. Shreds away from a couple of tacklers and makes it to the 22-yard line. A 55-yard punt, 16 on the return.
Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on NBC.
10:55 left in the opening quarter. Steelers have it at their 21-yard line. Stewart 0 for 3 off the start of the game, and that's been his pattern this year. First half, only 47% completions, 3 touchdowns, 10 intercepted. But look at the second half, 60%, 14 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Starts from the 21 with Charles Johnson in motion. And it's Bettis as he greeted quickly at the 20-yard line as John Mobley and Ray Crockett, the linebacker and cornerback, make the hit.
I'm going to tell you something. Ray Crockett, when he committed, he sees this thing. Mobley's going to make the play along with Crockett. 51 is Mobley, 39 is Crockett. Look to the right of the screen. The guy underneath is Crockett, the corner. Man, did he commit himself, he was gone.
A loss of a yard, and it's tough to get Bettis down behind the line of scrimmage. He's the number 3 rusher in the league.
Well, it helps when you got about 2 extra people up there that the Steelers can't block. It makes it a lot easier to get the big man down.
Lester, the close friend of Bettis, lines up at fullback. He blocked for him with the Rams. Throw off the flat, incomplete, and Steve Atwater again playing in front of Yancey Thigpen, the intended target.
Dick, here's what happens. The Denver Broncos, they crowd the line of scrimmage. They dare you to throw it outside. Here's Steve Atwater, 8 in the box. Cordell looks at all this open spot. Watch him on the snap of the ball. Watch Steve Atwater. Runs. Gets out underneath the receiver. If it's a good throw, it's an interception.
Well, you saw Atwater smiling, Dick, as he was going back. He knew if that ball was on target, he had a touchdown.
He scored his first touchdown in 9 NFL years last week against San Diego, 22-yard score.
Not many safeties could be in there for the run and still be a factor in the passing game like he does.
3rd and 11, and it's a screen to George Jones, the rookie. He's got some blockers. Cuts back inside, has a first down and more. All the way, fumbles the ball. Picked up by the Broncos. Tyrone Braxton, and Braxton all the way to the 35-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 37. John Jackson got him out of bounds. So a big play from the rookie Jones, only to be stripped of the ball.
Well, you got the defense. They're going after the quarterback, all that speed. Great call by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jones, open field, cuts back, but good hustle by the defense. Steve Atwater staying after it, causes the fumble.
Big play by Atwater, who is renowned for just that quality in his 7 Pro Bowl years. Darian Gordon might have gotten a piece of it as well.
You're right. Darian Gordon got his hand as he was coming by and pulled it out.
First turnover goes to Denver. They start from the Steeler 38. Elway, play action. Goes long. Has a man. Incomplete, Willie Green. Chad Scott able to stay close enough to deny.
Phil, you know, we talked about it. John Elway told us yesterday he wants to pick on Chad Scott. No difference to the guy. Just going to pick on him. He's a rookie. And 2 plays, the last 2 plays, the one in the last series, the one in this series, right back to Chad Scott.
The one thing Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator for the Steelers, told me, he says, this Chad Scott, he's given up some plays, but this guy really competes. He's tough, and he'll challenge these receivers today.
Howard Griffith in motion. Fake to Davis. Good protection. The throw underneath. Incomplete. Myron Bell denies Shannon Sharp, the tight end.
Boy, Myron Bell does an excellent job as a safety. What he is, he's back covering Shannon Sharp. Man for man, here comes Shannon Sharp. He waits, he sees Elway. He breaks on the ball as John Elway lets it go. Good position. Tough to make a catch in that play.
The only thing about it, look at Elway. Look at the time Elway has to throw the ball. Then the offensive line creates a lane for him to throw the ball. If you're going to give Elway that much time to throw, Phil, he's going to start hitting some of these balls.
3rd and 10. Shannon Sharp in the backfield with Elway. Then he goes into the pattern. Elway goes long again. And it's a touchdown to Rod Smith. Rod Smith, who's had a brilliant year out of Missouri Southern, and they beat Donnell Wolford. The salute that's become the trademark for the touchdown makers for the Denver Broncos. And this man, Rod Smith, you saw in the pregame show, he says, I work daily. I don't work by the week. I work daily. Every time I come into the Denver locker room, I go right to see if my uniform's still there. He was a free agent. He struggled to make it, grew up on the practice squad, and now, as Elway says, he's got a potential star written on his back.
And Donnell Wolford looked back at the quarterback. He looked at the quarterback and stopped.
Jason Elam adds the extra point. And on the fumble forced by Gordon, recovered by Braxton, Elway 37 yards on the touchdown to Rod Smith. And the Denver Broncos strike first in Pittsburgh with 9:38 remaining in the first quarter. Elway over the 3,000 mark. And welcome back to Three Rivers Stadium, where the Broncos take advantage of the first turnover, and John Elway over 3,000 yards passing for his 12th year in the NFL, over 48,000 in his career. He and Marino both 12 times they've been over 3,000 yards, and Will Blackball has trouble finding the handle and is tackled at the 19-yard line on the kickoff. And let's go back on the touchdown.
Well, let's take a look at it. Just Donnell Wolford against Rod Smith up top. Donnell Wolford, double move, great position. Really what happens, Rod Smith just uses his speed and pulls away at the end.
The one thing about Donnell Wolford, though, you see it right at the end of that play, Phil, is when he decided to look back at the quarterback, that's when you lose speed. And it's a classic example of when you're running with a defensive back, you have to wait till the last second. When he reaches for the ball, then you reach for the ball.
That's a good point.
2 years, his first 2 seasons, 3 touchdowns, and now 9 for Rod Smith. We saw George Jones, the man who fumbled the ball, set up the touchdown for the Broncos. Jerome Bettis plowing forward to the 23-yard line, and Steve Atwater playing right up on the line of scrimmage to make the tackle.
Neil Smith, Band-Aids and all, and there's those. Here's Neil Smith. Look at this. Strolzak, that's a takedown. Now
and Neil Smith was going to try to take a real sharp angle, so it looked a little worse.
It was worse.
But it was still a good takedown.
Pretty convincing, nevertheless.
I thought so.
2nd down and 6. The bus is on the roll. Out to the 44. Braxton and Atwater, the 2 safeties, finally get him down. 21 yards for Bettis.
Anytime a running back, even Jerome Bettis, as big as he is, watch Tim Lester, the lead blocker, comes through, gets John Mobley out of the way, creates the big hole. But if you're going to crowd the line of scrimmage like the Broncos do, you're going to give up some big runs like that one that time.
And the other thing about him, too, though, is when you watch him, when he gets to that hole, Dick, is that he squares his shoulders, and once he does that, it's tough bringing him down.
Well, and he's also looking at the man in front of him, Tim Lester, number 34, who has been his blocking back with the Cardinals, with the Rams rather, and then here in Pittsburgh. Gives him a lot of credit. Cordell Stewart on first down, loves to roll left and throw, gets away from Price and ducks out of bounds near the 49-yard line. Gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. And there's Lester. All he has this year, 2 carries all year, 9 yards. They've given him 10 catches, but he reminds everyone when he was in college, he had, 1,600 more yards rushing and 10 more touchdowns than Bettis. And Bettis said, yeah, but you were playing Morehead State. I was playing Southern California. And this is the combination when Bettis in his rookie year, his very first touchdown behind Lester against the Steelers at Anaheim Stadium when they were the Los Angeles Rams.
When I heard that dig about Moorhead State he was running against it, I didn't step by me.
No, I think that's nice to get your alma mater in there. It's nice that he would know that.
Boy, did you just see the quickness of Alfred Williams? Alfred Williams got through in the backfield for a loss.
Paul, that's a good point. The Broncos, it's about quickness and numbers. That's how they stop the running game. They get a lot of quick players, everybody, even their defensive linemen. No big guys, but a lot of fast guys, and the linebackers, and then the extra defensive back, Steve Atwater. That's how they stop the running game.
And number 43, George Jones, who fumbled on his last carry on the pass, is back into the game for Pittsburgh. 3rd down and 6. Jones in motion to the outside. Over the middle, complete. Courtney Hawkins, and Hawkins is to the 36-yard line. Tim McKyer, the veteran cornerback, made the tackle. 16 on the play.
It's an empty backfield, 5 wide receivers for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look down here at the bottom of your screen. Here it is. But nobody underneath. 4 rushers are trying to keep Cordell Stewart in the pocket. This is, if you're the quarterback, it's just go back, pick out what you think your best matchup is, and throw it to that guy because it's single coverage all across the field.
And a 1st down, trailing 7-0. Steelers, their deepest penetration, and out of Bettis. Bettis to the 33, maybe the 32. John Mobley from Kutztown State, across the state of Pennsylvania, makes the tackle.
You know, we talked about this before, but you got the number 1 rushing offense and the number 1 and 2, and they're going into this game. They're only 1 yard apart, 2,063, 2,062. But when you look at Pittsburgh Steelers offensive linemen, when they put a hat on somebody, Phil, they don't let him go. They stay with him, and that's what creates the holes.
Yeah, you stick to him. They stick to the defenders. That's why they have such a great running game.
2nd and 6, and Stewart to throw. Complete. And Yancey Thigpen kicks free of the tackle, and Thigpen will score! So the Steelers answer the Broncos on an immediate drive with Stewart hitting Thigpen 33 yards. Thigpen broke the tackle of Darian Gordon. Veteran Norm Johnson looks for his 250th consecutive extra point. That's an NFL record. It's 7-all. You're watching the NFL on NBC, and Yancey Thigpen has the Steeler crowd on its feet. So the Denver Bronco defense stunned by the quickness of that touchdown drive. 81 yards in 7 plays, 33 yards. Cordell Stewart to Yancey Thigpen. His 5th touchdown catch to tie his career high. And Cordell, who started 0 for 4 in the game, was 3 for 3 on that drive and 74 yards. Johnson's end over end of Vaughn Hebron. Juggles, clutches, and finds a little hole across the 25 and skids out to the 29.
Well, it was good. I'm sorry, Dick. Good route running by Yancey Thigpen at the top. It's called a fade stop. Fake him deep, stop, and come back. The perfect throw. Darian Gordon can't adjust. Misses a tackle. Touchdown.
I'll tell you what will drive a defensive coach crazy is watch these missed tackles. One comes here. That's Gordon first. Now watch this move by Thigpen back inside. And then another missed tackle by Mobley, who has a clean shot at him. And Thigpen for the touchdown.
And Cordell Stewart, whose father Robert is here from New Orleans, gives him a little victory signal. Tied at 7, 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and Elway back to pass on 1st down. Scrambles, the man who has run more than any quarterback in the National Football League history is dragged down by Kevin Henry. That was the 736th time Elway has tucked it away and run with it.
Well, I think the Denver Broncos are saying they believe this Pittsburgh defense is pretty good against the run. Coming out, throwing the football a little bit. John Elway When you pressure him, he still will step up looking to pass it first, but if he has to run, he will.
He hasn't gotten the productivity out of those rushes that Randall Cunningham has, but he is 4th all time, but he has rushed more than any quarterback. 2nd and short. Terrell Davis bulls his way to a first down just shy of the 40, and Earl Holmes there to make the tackle. And we invite you to follow the NFL online at msnbcsports.com. Go interactive and vote for the player you feel deserves Comeback Player of the Year. It's all at msnbcsports.com. I would give a vote to Andre Rison.
Well, old man Moon ain't bad.
Yeah, but Andre Rison, he's been pretty special, I think, for the Kansas City Chiefs this year.
First down, Denver. Tied at 7. Late first quarter. Elway rears back and fires complete to Willie Green. And Green, who was picked up by the Broncos this year, the University of Mississippi, and of course has been with Carolina as an unrestricted free agent, has his first catch today. He's playing for Ed McCaffrey.
Well, this time they fake like they're going to stop and go deep, and then they fake again and come back. Good timing by John Elway. Excellent protection. The Steelers blitz, leaving Chad Scott one-on-one outside.
There's one other thing about this field, so you understand, even in the missed tackles before, the sidelines are very slippery because that's the part of the field that's not covered, Dick.
First down near the 30, and Davis on first down. A staggering run down to the 21-yard line, good for 9, as Terrell Davis leading the league coming in with 1,647 yards. Only Eric Dickerson over 2,100 yards, and O.J. Simpson, 2003, have broken that 2,000-yard mark. And Terrell Davis, if he can average 118 a game, will be the 3rd man in history. Thus far, Davis, a handful of yards up in the 20s. Davis again inside, and a flag goes down as Davis makes a yard. Holmes and Levon Kirkland, the biggest linebacker, starting linebacker in the league, make the tackle.
Dick, talking to Terrell Davis yesterday, and every time we do talk to him, it really is a joy. They got holding on the offensive line. It really is a joy because we asked him yesterday, don't give me the patent. We want to get to the Super Bowl, and I know all the wonderful
use
things.
Of the hands to the face on the offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
But when you looked at Terrell Davis and you asked him, say, okay, Terrell, what would you like? How about 2,000 yards? That'd be nice. How about leading the league in rushing? That would really be nice too.
Yeah, but he said he got burned last year because everyone was congratulating him after his last game. He won the NFL rushing title. Then Barry Sanders had that huge game the next day. He said, I didn't like that.
But the difference is this year, they have to win all 3 of these games to keep what they want, the home field advantage.
Elway throws in the flat, almost intercepted. Looked like Carnell Lake very close to picking one off that could have sent him to the other end zone as Elway overshot Shannon Sharp.
What's amazing, the little things that affect plays and how they can turn the game just by the Jason Gilden jumping up, trying to knock the ball down, makes John Elway overthrow the receiver. Almost a big mistake.
Lake won't miss many of those. He has 3 interceptions this year. 13 in his career, 4-time Pro Bowler at safety, but a solid corner as he's proven once again. 3rd down and 12 for Elway. It's Davis, and Davis has a first down and bolts inside the 10 and out of bounds at the 7 over Chad Scott.
This is a called play. This is not a dump off. This play was called in the huddle because they're reading all these people to the outside. This was called the entire way, Phil.
Here's the person who's covering. Levon Kirkland gets picked by his own man. Terrell Davis, great job. Acted like he was going to be back there to help John Elway. Slipped across the formation. Levon Kirkland, look, he's got him. His own defensive line to get away. The offensive line knows it's a screen. They get down the field. Great call.
First and goal at the 8. Elway into the flat, and it's juggled by Griffith, and Griffith rarely gets gets a chance. He is the Tim Lester of the Denver Bronco backfield, has only 7 catches all year, and Jason Gilden gets him out of bounds at the 3.
I think we all agreed coming into the game day. We were sitting up here in the booth talking before the game. Yeah, it's a special game and all that, but we knew the X's and O's, the strategy involved, that it was going to be a lot of fun to do because both of these coaches are not afraid to try some different things every game.
Red zone defense, 5th best in the league are the Steelers. And timeout call by Elway. It's 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line with 1:22 remaining in this opening quarter. Tied at 7. Both teams are showing some firepower. The Broncos touchdown set up on the forced fumble. NBC tonight, don't miss the network television premiere of the action blockbuster Terminal Velocity. It stars Charlie Sheen and Natasha Kinski. Right after bloopers and Dateline, Terminal Velocity at 8 Central, NBC tonight.
Isn't that what we're seeing here? I mean, you know, a lot of great effects in this movie, and we're seeing it here. What you're seeing here, you're not going to see a whole lot of penalties, Phil. I don't think. These guys play tough, hard football. These are really 2 hard-nosed football teams, and they know the job in front of them. They both know that in order to win this game, the defense really is going to have to do it.
Well, yep, and they're going to have to make plays on the other side, too, but I don't think it's going to be a one-sided game, Paul. We've already seen that. The offenses, they know how to scheme, go against the special things defenses are doing against them, and take advantage of it.
2nd and goal at the 3, and Elway to Terrell Davis, and Davis dives into the end zone for the touchdown. Terrell Davis, his 14th rushing touchdown of the season. And suddenly, Three Rivers Stadium, very silent.
It got quiet. Terrell Davis, I mean, when you look at the play, Terrell Davis, that just looked too easy. I mean, he knows how tough the defense is, but he almost walks in here.
You get such a variety of plays from the Denver Broncos, a screen, a pass, the run, and all of a sudden you slash off tackle. Sometimes you find those wide open holes.
Elam for the extra point. Ruined to hold, and it's 14-7 Denver as the Broncos see the Steelers score quickly and take the ball and drive it right back 72 yards in 8 plays, and Terrell Davis, who loves to run tackle to tackle, smashes in from 3 yards out. Broncos lead at 14-7. The salute to Terrell Davis on his Denver record rushing touchdown. We go to New York.
All right, Dick, this will catch Denver fans' interest at Kansas City. Donnell Bennett, 9-yard touchdown run, the toughest all day so far, right through the Raider defense with the extra point. The Chiefs with a 10-point lead on Oakland just starting the 2nd quarter, Dick.
I think that's what the fans were expecting to see. The Kansas City Chiefs winning this game.
You know, it is really interesting, the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, the thing about it is, you talk to other coaches about it, and everybody's congratulating Marty Schottenheimer and their team, but the one thing about it, they find a way to win. This game right now, this first quarter, is everything we thought it was going to be.
Well, I thought maybe the weather, the fact that they're well coached, the defenses, and I thought, well, I could see a low-scoring game.
Greg Coleman and Will Blackwell deep as Elam sends it high to Blackwell, the rookie from San Diego State from the 5. And he's brought down at the 24-yard line. Keith Burns, first man down, along with Darius Johnson. Last time the Steelers defense allowed a rushing touchdown at home prior to Davis to score. Week 2 last year, Vinny Testaverde, a 6-yard scramble. The last time a running back rushed for a touchdown here in Pittsburgh, it was Natron Means, 1995, 20 regular season home games ago that opposing running back had rushed for a touchdown here in Three Rivers until Davis's score. That's quite remarkable. 60 quarters. 1:07 left in this first quarter. 14-7 Denver. Stewart to throw on first down, in trouble. Gets off the hit from Neil Smith. Throws underneath, incomplete. Intended for Jerome Bettis, covered by John Mobley, and covering the rest of the action in New York, Greg Gumbel.
All right, Dick, at Jacksonville, the Jaguars have won 13 straight at home. The New England Patriots are unimpressed. Troy Brown on the receiving end of a Drew Bledsoe 9-yard touchdown pass. 13-0 Pats in the 2nd quarter, Dick.
There's a score that will please Steeler fans. And, of course, next week, Saturday, remember, fans, will be in New England as the Patriots host the Steelers. A Saturday special. 4 o'clock Eastern, 3:30 for NFL on NBC. Stewart on second down underneath to Charles Johnson, his teammate at the University of Colorado. It's short of a first down at the 32. Brings up 3rd down and 2. Mobley and Crockett in on the tackle.
Right now, this first quarter, Cordell Stewart, and you know, one of the things you said, he has to make good decisions, and he's making some very good decisions.
He's doing it. He's making good decisions. The Steelers are putting him in a lot of situations where he can succeed. That time, play action. Nobody can get underneath the wide receiver. Big holes for him to throw the football into.
3rd and 2, and they bring in John Whitman as a blocker along with Mark Bruner. That's Whitman in motion. H-back, and Bettis hit in the backfield, and down he goes at the 28-yard line as Neil Smith, the veteran Pro Bowl star at Kansas City, the first 9 years of his career, and now a Denver Bronco, makes the big play.
You said this many times about the Denver Broncos. Quickness off the line of scrimmage. Watch Neil Smith, how fast he's in the backfield. Bam, he's in the backfield. They don't block him. Down goes Bettis.
And that takes us to the end of the first quarter here at Three Rivers Stadium. Battle for first place and ahead to the playoffs. 14-7 Denver. It's worth repeating what Elway said in terms of the importance of this game is, you know, we've got to find out, we've got San Francisco next week. We've got to win on the road now, or in the playoffs we're going to be playing on the road.
They figure they like to win here now.
Well, they figure that Kansas City's going to win its last 3 games. They're going to have to win their last 3 to stay in front, or they'll have to go on the road in the playoffs in a wild card game to get to the Super Bowl.
Darian Gordon bobbles, picks it up, and is tackled immediately at the 39-yard line off Josh Miller's punt. And the Broncos on the opening play of the second quarter lead at 14-7, have the ball back, and the fans not happy with Miller's kick. And a reminder tonight on Dateline.
A Kentucky high school prayer circle is shattered by gunfire.
You know, I tell him to put down the gun, to stop shooting people.
From the teen gunman to the hero who confronted him. How could this happen? Minute by minute, Dateline, Sunday, 8/7 Central.
John Elway and the Broncos with the lead here in the second quarter, 14-7. First down at the 39. Play action to Davis, who picks up the blitzer. The throw incomplete, right through the hands of Rod Smith. Wide open, the ball was there. Smith knows he should have caught it. Chad Scott covering.
You know, one thing, you talk about Terrell Davis catching the ball, we talk about Terrell Davis running with the ball, but also Terrell Davis can block.
Does a good job of picking up the blitz, but this is one of those times, what do they call that when John Elway throws it and it kind of sticks to your chest and you get the indentation from the end of the ball? Well, Rod Smith got one on that time.
He tattoos the receiver. You better get your hands in front of your body. Second down, 10. Elway, fighting a cold, does not have a good voice. He may be having trouble being heard over the crowd, but no trouble in finding Patrick Jeffers, the second-year receiver from Virginia. Only his second career catch, none last year, and that's his second. The first was for 5 yards earlier this year.
Well, you know what, you talked about that, Dick. John Elway had a cold, his voice is a little strained, and what happens for a quarterback on the road if you're in that situation, usually somewhere in the second quarter, second half, you lose your voice, so he has to be very careful.
Used speakers, loud noise at practice in Denver, and of course he's had to use that voice, and with a cold, having problems. He said his children have been sick for a month, and he's just not been able to get rid of a lingering cold. It's third down and a long one, and Elway calls his second timeout. One remains for Denver.
Levon Kirkland, 99. Terrell Davis, 30. I went back to this 2 plays ago, and I said about his blocking. Watch him square up. Bam! He makes the hit right there. Look at the position he has. Terrific.
Giving away 70 pounds to Kirkland. Not many backs straighten up that guy.
Well, great balance, great hands. Comes in handy when you're a blocking back, too.
Great attitude.
Third down and 1. Davis eludes a tackle in the backfield and has the first down at the Steeler 49. Kirkland with the tackle.
These are the things we never talk enough about. The little thing right there. Terrell Davis, it's 3rd and 1. It's a big situation. And the tackle he breaks in the backfield. Dante Jones comes through, just runs right through the arm tackle. Those are big plays.
Yeah, it's just a 2-yard gain in the books when you read the summary of the game. 2 yards off tackle Davis, but it was much more than that.
It also says first down right after that.
That's right. Elway to Davis. Has a hole. And it's down to the 42-yard line. A gain of nearly 7 before Myron Bell, the safety, and Chad Scott, the corner, can make the stop.
You know, the one thing about him, Dick and Phil, when you look at him, there's nothing fancy about him. Watch this. One move. And you picked that out in the very first game. He's got one move, and then he comes up into the hole. Now he'll make a move in the secondary. Bell is there. But he makes that one move, and then off he goes.
Sanders, second to Davis, coming into this weekend's play. Bettis, the 3rd leading rusher. There you see the top 7 in the league. Terrell Davis is also the leader in total yards. He entered the game with 1,900 plus, and he can't hang on. That's Griffith trying to twist to make the catch. Incomplete on 2nd down. It'll be 3rd and 3 for Denver.
Well, how great he's a blocker. You know, he's kind of like Tim Lester. Every once in a while he gets to carry the ball, and a couple times a year they ask him to catch it. And hey, kind of caught him by surprise.
Yeah, he looked out there. Whoa! What's this thing coming at me?
Yeah, it's coming fast again.
Speak to me, hands. Speak to me. 3rd and 3. Steeler 42. Here they come. Elway fires complete to Smith. He hangs on to this one, and it's a first down at the Pittsburgh 30. 12 on the play.
Good job by John Elway, the Denver offense, being alert. Watch the blitz, the people coming. Elway knows he's in trouble. The defensive lineman drops back in coverage.
Mike Vrabel, the rookie from Ohio State.
He's got to learn to read the quarterback's eyes a little quicker, but no, it's a good job by him. But Elway and Rod Smith, seeing the blitz, knowing they got to get rid of the football quickly, doing a good job.
Leading 14-7, 12 minutes left in the half. Davis the handoff. And Terrell Davis wearing down perhaps the Steeler defense as he seems to getting more and more on each carry. 7 yards on that one. He has 33 yards rushing in the half, 23 on 1 reception.
Look at the left of the screen. Watch 29 block. Bam! Right on the outside. And Terrell Davis just cuts it back up inside. Excellent blocking by the offensive line. But the fullback on both of these teams, they both can block.
Not asked to do much more. Tim Lester for the Steelers, Howard Griffith for Denver. They're there to block for their key runners. Davis upended by Earl Holmes, but he is close to a first down at the Pittsburgh 20.
Well, a lot of people haven't been able to run the ball against the Steelers defense, but the Broncos, they like their matchups today. One, their fullback, their offensive line's quick, it gets on blocks. Howard Griffith and the lineman, Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator for the Steelers, said it best. This offensive line of the Broncos, what makes them so good is how quickly they can get to the blocks and stay with them.
Total yardage for 2,000, only 33 more for Terrell Davis as Elway has to throw this one away. Well covered, all of his receivers, all 4.
You know the thing about this offensive line, though, Phil, it is really good. Not only do they block very well, but they lose one of their best players, Schlereth. What happens? David Diaz-Infante comes in, and he does a great job. So they don't really lose anything.
It's a great story. Diaz-Infante from San Jose State, the oldest player ever to start in the NFL at age 32. He was a replacement player back in the strike year 87. Played in Frankfurt and Sacramento and Denver practice squad, and finally a starter. 2nd and 10 from inside the 20. And flags. Dante Jones and Diaz-Infante. Did he move first?
The only way it's against the defense is if they made contact.
False start prior to the snap. Offense number 63. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Didn't we just talk about him? There's the move. We just talked about David. Nice story. Just comes in, man, does a great job, and then goes offside.
It's a shame. The linemen, the game wasn't created to feature linemen. We only talk about them when they do something bad. John Elway. Terrell Davis with 36 yards, averaging 4 a carry. Elway incomplete, intended for Patrick Jeffers. A little behind him, but he was open. Chris Oldham covering.
Well, the Steeler defense, if you can protect long enough, everybody says if you can protect long enough, there's big open holes on the inside. Elway does a good job of waiting for Jeffers to get inside, but he throws it behind the receiver. He knows he had a good chance to get the ball down inside the 10.
He also had one other guy open, Terrell Davis. He was coming down the middle, down the seam, and he was open.
Elway, who did not throw an interception the entire month of November, going to the end zone. Touchdown Smith. He's got his second touchdown. Wide open. Rod Smith, his 10th of the season.
I have to say, I don't think he was throwing it to Rod. I thought he was throwing it to Willie Green on the outside.
We both looked at each other like,
yeah.
Willie Green's going to get this ball for a touchdown.
And Rod Smith just came out of nowhere to get the ball. But it's a great route. Watch Rod Smith on the inside. He's double covered. Does a move go on Darren Perry on the inside? Nobody's covering him deep.
And Willie Green really served as a shield all the way. No one could get through Willie Green as Elam tacks on the extra point, and the Denver Broncos, leading the league in points scored this year, have rolled up 21 here in the first half and a 14-point lead. An offensive-minded, risk-taking Mike Shanahan likes what he sees. Welcome back to Pittsburgh, where the Broncos have taken a 21-7 lead down to Will Blackwell on the kickoff. Blackwell's had trouble with his footing and goes down at the 18-yard line. Dedrick Dodge made the stop. That touchdown was significant both for the quarterback and for the receiver, but first the analysis.
Well designed. Here's Rod Smith against Carnell Lake. Darren Perry's going to come up and double him. One's on the outside, one's on the inside, but the problem always is who has him deep. It's created this big hole. Watch John Elway. Little pump fake. It freezes defense. It lets Rod Smith go right down the middle, and you can see the big hole for the touchdown. Nobody's actually covering him once he goes in the end zone.
Well, if he slips and falls, Green's going to get it.
You're exactly right. Willie Green saw it and was going to catch it if Rod Smith didn't.
Ron Bettis trying to get the Steelers back online. Alan Aldridge and Darian Gordon make the stop, and the catch by Smith, not only his 10th touchdown, but puts this young man, a free agent, over 1,000 yards receiving this year, and for the man who threw it, John Elway, moves him past Joe Montana all time in touchdown passes thrown, number 5 in NFL history. There's Elway now actually tied with Warren Moon, playing against Baltimore today. Moon has yet to throw a touchdown pass at 274. 2nd and 1, Pittsburgh. Hold again for Bettis. And a flag down as Bettis pushed out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
You're going to have holding, I think it's Charles Johnson, 81, on Steve Atwater, number 27, right in the hole.
That denies a 21-yard scamper by big Jerome Bettis.
Because Steve Atwater was in the hole to make the play.
Holding on the offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Well, they got John Jackson, but I can tell you right now that was holding on Atwater right in the hole. Now, here, take a look. Well, you'll see Atwater kind of disappear right in here, and he is held. There's where he's held. Steve Atwater, number 27. Watch this. Charles Johnson comes up and grabs him right here and holds him. Could have called either way.
It goes against Jackson, the tackle. It was on Harold Hasselbach. Instead of a gain near midfield, the Steelers look at 2nd and 11, just outside their 15, and Stewart drops back and throws down the middle. Wide open, but incomplete to Yancey Thigpen. Thigpen had moved 5 yards clear of the man defending Darian Gordon, but Stewart offline.
Well, it was an excellent job by Yancey Thigpen. He goes down. Watch how he goes. Deception, that's everything. Go down, outside, fake inside, and when he breaks out, look at that. Nobody around him. Good protection. Cordell Stewart trying to anticipate just a little too much. On those type of routes, wait till you see the guy come open and stick it to him.
3rd down. They're now saying 11 as George Jones, the rookie, comes into the backfield. Denver shows blitz, and then they back off. Stewart with some time to the far sidelines. It is incomplete. Not pulled in by Charles Johnson along the sidelines, and the Steeler punting team comes on.
Well, the one thing we talked to Cordell Stewart about yesterday, Dick, is when he said in the first half of the game, I'm too pumped up. I'm trying to make some things happen. This ball does hit the ground with Charles Johnson. He doesn't get his hands underneath it. But he just says, I just try to make things happen too much.
Pittsburgh, one of the best in not doing what has just happened. 3 plays and out, 6th best in the league, but they're playing the team with the very best mark as the Denver Broncos are able to pick up first down.
Well, the Steelers drives. I'm sorry, the Steelers don't have a lot of 3 and outs. The good running game, short yardage, 3rd down situations, and they're good at picking those up.
Big kick by Miller to Darian Gordon, and Gordon looking for a block, runs into a sea of black and gold, and is tackled at the 36-yard line. 54 on the punt, 7 on the return. On the sidelines for Denver, a familiar face in Pittsburgh, Walter Andrew Brister III, Bubby, if you will. Bubby is, for the first time this year, Mike Shanahan has made him the 2nd quarterback and not Jeff Lewis. He said the experience now playing in Pittsburgh, pressure and the rest, if something should happen to Elway, he thinks Brister should be his man. Elway has directed 3 straight touchdown drives and bats down the deflection to make sure it's not picked off by Nolan Harrison.
Boy, was that a heads-up play by John Elway, the experienced quarterback. He's not going to catch the ball, but he knows that someone else has an opportunity. When he steps back to throw the ball is batted straight up in the air. Look at here, bang, and Harrison, number 74, is there. Elway can see him and just knocks the ball to the ground.
Bubby Brister said, "Ooh, my."
You know, that would happen to me a couple times, Mike. I always caught it because I wanted to get my pass completion percentage up. So
even though it was negative yardage.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Flags fly as Terrell Davis slashes off tackle for a couple. Back to Bubby Brister. He was quoted this week out in Denver as saying, one of the problems is it's really tough to play in Pittsburgh because of the cold wind off the lake here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you know the lake here, and how far the lake is from here? It's about 120 miles away, and I'm going to tell you something. There's the lake. That's also called a river. But the lake is Lake Erie, and that's 120-some miles away, and I'm going to tell you something. That is a huge breeze.
You're just getting way too technical.
Exactly.
Way too technical.
Fans in Pittsburgh understood what Bubby meant.
That's right.
Offside. Defense.
So 5 yards ticketed to the Steelers, and that gives Elway 2nd and 5 from the 41. Last 3 drives have ended in Bronco touchdowns. Throws back to the side to Howard Griffith, and he has the catch. Short yardage at the 43, 3 yards shy of a first down.
Well, a lot of people want to know why John Elway for so long has been able to throw the football so hard and accurate. His feet, great position. Look how he keeps his shoulders to the sideline, gets his hips wide open. Now that it enables him to really turn. And the other thing, he leans his head to the left. Now he gets a little more leverage, and that lets him turn and throw the ball with the power and accuracy. The fact that he does that, has big hands, and has naturally good throwing arm all heads.
Off a blitz, it's deflected incomplete as Kevin Henry fly swats it down. That's 2 in that series for Henry.
Boy, there's a situation. 3 plays, and they throw the ball all 3 times. Elway now, just Kevin Henry, just take a watch it. He's watching, he sees the ball, goes up in the air. That's great defensive line play.
Well, Bill Cowher said that Henry's been the unsung hero on that defense. He's played very well all season long. Will Blackwell stands at the Steeler 15, ruined to punt. Arrives
He hit this.
Headed for the end zone and skips on through. Pittsburgh at the 20-yard line. When we come back, 7:59 remains opening half. Welcome back to Pittsburgh. 2 John Elway touchdown passes and a 3-yard run by Terrell Davis, giving the Broncos a 21-7 lead. We're at the midpoint of the 2nd quarter. On the 20, Jerome Bettis out for 9 to the 29, and we go from Pittsburgh to New York in this update.
All right, Dick, the Broncos better keep on rolling to stay ahead of the Chiefs because the Chiefs are on a roll against Oakland. Rich Gannon rolls out, keeps those 5 yards for the touchdown with the extra point. They have now opened up their lead over the Raiders to 20-0. Just over 2 minutes to play in the first half, Dick.
All right, Greg. Broncos leading by only a game over Kansas City starting this play today with 2 to follow. 2nd and 2, Bettis hit hard, but the big man can fall forward for the first down. Keith Traylor unable to totally stop his progress. Cordell Stewart ducks his head in the huddle. You saw him earlier point to the crowd. His father is here from New Orleans, Robert Stewart Sr., and his older brother, Robert Stewart Jr., next to him on the left of Daddy. So there's my hero. He's watched me all the way from my middle school days, and from middle school, 6th grade on, Cordell Stewart's football teams have been in the playoffs every year. College, high school, and now the NFL. Stewart goes long. Thigpen with a catch, and Thigpen is going to go for the touchdown. A flag is down, but I believe it's against Denver.
I'll tell you what, on this play, Darian Gordon saw the flag and stopped.
Interference on the defense. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
Darian Gordon saw the flag being thrown and stopped.
Paul, exactly. I mean, he saw it, he stopped. And Yancey Thigpen, to his credit, keeps hustling, makes the catch.
Thigpen's 2nd touchdown today, 33 yards, and now 69 yards from Cordell Stewart. Johnson for the extra point. And the Steelers have struck quickly. It's 21-14.
What single coverage on the outside. Darian Gordon immediately puts his hand on him way past the 5-yard mark. And then for some reason just gives up on the play.
Well, he saw the flag, Phil, and then he just stops. Perfect pass.
Stewart.
Look at this. He stopped. He quit. He saw the flag coming by. He said, well, hey, got a flag against me. Might as well quit. That's incredible.
But besides, it was a perfect throw by Cordell Stewart. Leads the receiver out along the sideline. Hits Yancey Thigpen right in stride. And when you get a long touchdown as a quarterback, it's exciting.
And Papa Stewart watches Cordell throw his 2nd touchdown today. It's 21-14. Cordell's mother died of cancer when he was only 11, lost his sister to the same disease last year. Daddy raised the family. He's the man that put strength in the life of young Cordell, and the quarterback of the Steelers quick to give him credit as we talked with him yesterday. 21-14. The fans delighted with that touchdown play. Vaughn Hebron to the 28-yard line, and that's where Elway will start.
You know what I really liked yesterday when you were talking to Cordell Stewart? Because you asked me, said, Gordon, you had winning teams at Colorado. He said, yeah. What about high school? You ever have no? What about grade school? No. How about Parkland? No. He's not a championship.
When weren't you? He said, I never played football where my team didn't make it to the championship.
That's incredible.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why we talked about it earlier, that he's so comfortable in these situations. You know, he never gets intimidated by a big game, big moments. In fact, he enjoys them.
That's the longest touchdown pass of his career, pumping life into this crowd. Terrell Davis struggling to the 31. Nolan Harrison with a tackle along with Kevin Henry.
One of the things that happens in this stadium when this place erupts, it is very hard to hear anything. Now, we talked to John Elway yesterday, and he was losing his voice. I think Jim Gray covered that down there. He may not have a voice by the halftime.
What it does when a crowd gets in this situation, it does slow down an offense. It makes you be a little more conservative in your play calling because you want to somewhere stop the crowd and the momentum, so you go to your safe plays.
Play action to Davis. Elway, incomplete. A beautiful play by Myron Bell, diving in front of the intended receiver, Shannon Sharp.
Well, Shannon Sharp, the Steelers were worried about him down the field and getting open. It is not happening today. Myron Bell, we've seen a couple times already. Hey, he's going for the interception that time, outrunning Shannon Sharp to the football.
You know what, Myron Bell, you know what made that thing work, Dick? He took the right angle to the ball. He did not go to the back of Shannon Sharp. He went right down the line of scrimmage to make the play.
Bell starting in Cornell Lake's spot as Lake moves out to the corner. Third and a long 8. Elway down the sidelines for Smith. Incomplete. He juggled it against Donnell Wolford, unable to pull it in along the sidelines, but that nearly caught again for a big game.
Boy, good anticipation. It's another stop and go. Elway just lets it go, leads the receiver. It's right there in stride. Rod Smith just can't quite react to the football.
John said, I can throw it, you got to catch it.
John was tasting it. Will Blackwell drifts back to return Tom Ruin's punt to the 25. Ruin skids this one to the left. And the wobbler goes out of bounds at midfield. A break for the Steelers. 19-yard punt.
This is just a shank. One of the things when you kick the ball, watch his eyes. Is he looking down at the ball or is he looking up? He's looking down at the ball, but his foot went right across the ball and he hooked it.
It's a hook, right? Not a shank. A shank goes right.
That's right. A shank goes right, a hook goes left. That's a hook.
And the Steelers take advantage. 50-yard line they start, trailing by 7. Boy, folks here in Pittsburgh getting their money's worth in this one. Jerome Bettis rumbles for 7. Mike Lodish makes the tackle. The nickname the Bus, and it's become so popular here. Well, there is the Bus. Jerome, All-America at Notre Dame, with his career best 1,460 yards, averaging 112 a game, 4.5 average. Take the Bus. He'll give you a ride. Second down and 3. Bettis, who nearly was a Washington Redskin, 51 yards in this first half, outgaining Terrell Davis. Stewart throws complete. Charles Johnson, first down at the Bronco 39, and the Broncos trying to rip the ball away as Romanowski and Mobley trying to hold him up and pull at the ball.
When your running game is going very well, you have an awful lot of confidence in your throwing game as a quarterback. Charles Johnson just slips back out to the outside. Look, it hooks up. Look at the pass. The pass is perfect. To the inside, no chance for Crockett to get it.
Yeah, but this Denver Bronco defense, they try to make plays. Ray Crockett, he's not just trying to stop the receiver. He's trying to get in there, knock the ball loose, try to get an interception.
First down just inside the Bronco 39. 4 minutes left in the half. Stewart, Neil Smith, and John Mobley, and Alfred Williams there to make the tackle. Short gain. Back to Bettis, and talking with him this week, he very nearly, the offer was so good from the Washington Redskins in the offseason, thought he was going to be playing in the nation's capital, and called Bill Cowher on his cellular phone in the car and says, Coach, this is the deal. This is too much, and you're not close to this number. Cowher said, don't do a thing. And 24 hours later, they worked out a deal. Bettis said, I didn't get what I wanted, but I wanted to stay in Pittsburgh. And fans are happy that's all we're doing. Wide open Johnson in front of Darian Gordon, and Gordon is having a very tough first half.
Well, what it is, it's good protection always to help starts the passing game. but it's anticipation by the receiver and the quarterback, Charles Johnson. As soon as he turns around, the ball's in the air, hits him right in the chest.
Charles Johnson, 2 years, along with Michael Westbrook, the receivers for Cordell Stewart at the University of Colorado. Grew up in San Bernardino, California in the toughest of circumstances. Another first down for Pittsburgh with 2:40 left in the half. Bettis hit by Atwater at the line of scrimmage. Well, these are two teams, when you come to the stadium, you know you're going to see them run the football. 5 teams in the league run more than they pass, led by the Oilers. Steelers are second, 49ers, Tampa Bay, and Denver. All of them, except for Tennessee, with a winning record. Let's look at the play selection used today. 15 rushes, 14 passes for Pittsburgh.
Well, that kind of goes back. They wanted to get Cordell Stewart involved early. They did that. He's answered that call.
The roll to the left, and he tucks it away. Crockett makes the tackle at the 16-yard line, short of the first down.
You know, I'll tell you something about Cordell Stewart on this play here. When he runs this bootleg, Phil, I mean, he looks out there, there's nobody coming. Wow.
And that takes us to the 2-minute timeout. 21-14, Denver. And we welcome you back to Three Rivers Stadium. How about Cordell Stewart? Why do you think he starts so slowly this year?
Well, I'm blaming the coaches somewhat because the play calling, I think they've started too many games. Well, let's don't put Cordell in tough situations where he could lose the game for us, all those things. But you can see every time they've fallen behind this season, where he gets in these passing situations, he's reacted very well to it. So sometimes by trying to protect players, coaches actually make it harder on them.
Big play for the Steelers at the Denver 17, 3rd down and 4. 1 minute, 57 seconds left in the half, and Stewart back into the gun. And sends Jones in motion. Backfield is empty. No flag. The throw complete. Courtney Hawkins, and he has a first down at the 10-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you, this young man is coming of age in a hurry. He is just, everything he's throwing is right on target.
Paul, great job. Look at the blitz by the Broncos. The receiver sees it. He breaks it off. Cordell knows they can't pick it up. There's a free man coming. He stands right in the face of the blitzer, throws it outside for the completion.
Just inches away from 1st and goal, just outside the 10. 122. 120 left in this first half. Stewart dumps it off to Bettis. Only one white jersey there. Bettis for the touchdown, but a flag is down. And Keith Traylor says he was held.
Brandon Stye, number 68, is the guy that's walking. When you walk back with your head down, I think that's the guy you call it on.
And that is a 7-point penalty.
What a call. It was set up perfectly. As soon as he threw the ball, you knew it was going to be a touchdown.
It's almost like you don't even have to block for him. You get him out in space because he can make some things happen.
Illegal block in the back on the offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Boy, is there a tougher penalty than that? Instead of being 21 all, kicking the extra point, they're now first down and 20 from the 20.
And the bad thing is, he did it after Jerome Bettis was already past him going in for the touchdown.
Now here comes Jerome Bettis. Watch it. No, he's
There's
right behind.
block.
Yeah, he's blocking him, but Bettis had already had that.
Jerome, he was already gone.
That was really incidental. It had nothing to do with the play. So Stewart drops back, throws for Thigpen. He's got the triple, a hat trick for Yancey Thigpen. For these Steelers on the season, started today with 62 catches, but only 4 touchdowns, has 3 touchdown receptions in the half. And now to tie the game, Norm Johnson. 21 all.
Well, the Denver Broncos, they said, we want to make Cordell Stewart beat us throwing the football. He's doing a pretty good job so far. Single coverage outside almost every single play. Darian Gordon cannot cover the big receiver. Basically a jump ball. Perfect throw by Cordell Stewart.
And I'll tell you, and again, this whole thing starts with, you look at the catch here by Yancey Thigpen, outstanding concentration, but it all starts back with the blocking. I mean, all day long, Cordell Stewart is getting nothing but time.
And Greg Robinson, he's putting his corners, he's challenging them. You're going to cover the receivers, man for man, no help from anywhere. And right now, the Steeler receivers, especially Yancey Thigpen, is winning that battle.
3 touchdown catches for Thigpen in the opening half. And remember, as Denver takes this kickoff with 1:05 left in the half, that the Broncos have already burned 2 timeouts.
Yeah, but you also have a guy by the name of John Elway. You know, we always talk about the games that he wins in the fourth quarter. Well, I'll tell you, some of those games he does a pretty good job in the second quarter.
Vaughn Hebron at the 10, and Hebron cuts it up to about the 27-yard line, and Elway comes on the field with 58 seconds left in the half.
Just remember one other thing, though. When Denver's had the ball, and some of the throws that John Elway has made, Phil, he's had guys open. They've dropped the ball. So it isn't a case that these guys weren't open on the Denver side. Both pass defenses are getting beaten up pretty good.
A surprising offensive show in this first half at 3 touchdowns aside.
Well, when you think of games like this, when the tension is high, 2 good solid football teams, I just always expect it to be low scoring. You know, who gets the break wins the game, but today both of these teams create their own scoring scenarios.
Terrell Davis on first down gets nearly 5 to the 30-yard line. Elway will hurry them up there, or will he?
Well, it's one of these, let's hurry up, but let's don't take any chances.
If we get one solid play, then we keep going. If we don't,
you start taking a chance once you get the clock on your side.
Blitz, and down goes Elway as Carnell Lake. Lake, who had 3 sacks against Arizona last week, comes firing through from the corner.
Well, this is why you be a little careful in your 2-minute offense at the end of the half, because you don't. Carnell Lake coming in on the blitz. Nobody sees him. John Elway sees him at the last second, or he would have been out of this game. Here he comes, untouched. But this is what you got to be careful about in these 2-minute situations. Now you're going to maybe give Pittsburgh a chance to get the ball back and score.
Well, Pittsburgh took a timeout. They have 3. They took one of them. And they want to add some more time back onto the clock. They went to 34 seconds.
Gives us a chance to remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll be sending you to our New York studios for the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Greg Gumbel and company get you caught up on all the action from this 15th weekend of the NFL season. It's all coming up at halftime. This has been a highlight show this first half from Three Rivers.
Well, remember last week, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they had 10 sacks, and guess who had 3 of them? Carnell Lake. Yeah, he had 3 of them.
And that's the first sack today. Lake, the All-Pro. Elway to Davis. Davis battles out to the 27-yard line where Mike Vrabel makes the tackle, and the second timeout spent by the Steelers to stop the clock with 26 seconds. We can update Terrell Davis's rushing in this first half. 12 carries, 48 yards for Davis. So the Steelers at the pro rating at keeping him under the 100-yard mark. The Steelers tied with Jacksonville, and the Jaguars were losing at last report. 9-4 each in the Central. The Denver Broncos, whose only 2 losses have been by 3 points to Oakland and 2 points to Kansas City, but the Chiefs have played so well since October and are winning today. Should Denver lose and the Chiefs win, the Chiefs would be tied in the West, but have the advantage over the Broncos in the division.
And what that does, why it's so important, it makes Denver a wild card team. You don't get the week off, and if you win the wild card game, you're going to have to go on the road at least 2 times to get the Super Bowl.
Well, both teams playing to win their division. Tied at 21. 26 seconds. Here they come, and and just did get that kick off. Blackwell, fair catch at the 30-yard line for Pittsburgh with 18 seconds. Randy Fuller, number 29, was in on the foot of ruins.
The question is, when you're going to block a punt, you have to take a point 3 yards in front of the kicker. And if you get to that point, you see Fuller knows he's going to hit him, so he just pulls off. Now watch where he's going. He's too far wide to the outside. He can't get to the ball. He really wasn't that close.
Sure looked close at the moment, didn't it, at the moment of contact. So with 18 seconds left, what will be the thinking of Bill Cowher?
Well, you could take one shot and you still have a timeout, and they've had great pass protection. Why not? They're going 3 wide, one side and one to the other side.
Mike Shanahan puts 2 extra defensive backs in the game. They load up on Darian Gordon's side, and now Stewart throws the other way and has a man wide open. Guess who? Thigpen, first down at the 40-yard line of Denver. 11 seconds left in the half.
Well, if you're Pittsburgh puts 3 receivers to one side, Yancey Thigpen to the top. Look at that move. Looks inside for about 15 yards, then breaks out, single coverage. Another good throw by Cordell Stewart.
Hasn't he thrown the ball well this first half? We haven't seen all the Steeler games. You can't imagine him having a much better game.
He's got to have over 200 yards, doesn't he?
Well, we were here against Jacksonville a few weeks ago, and he threw the ball just as well then as he has today in the first half.
Stewart with 227 yards in the half. 9, 8, 7 seconds. Throws underneath. Complete. Heading for the sidelines. Jones stops the clock as he goes out of bounds at the 34. 3 seconds. So at the 34, that means Norm Johnson will have to kick from 51, 52 yards, and they're going to try it. Norm Johnson's longest this year is 52. And there isn't much of a wind. The flags on top of the stadium are facing into the kick, but we understand it's swirling around, and on the floor of the Three Rivers, it's in favor of Johnson. And it will be 51 yards. And timeout called by the Broncos. And Bill Cowher, well, you might think of him as a defensive coach, and but he really is a risk taker. He loves gadget plays. He'll remember the onside kick in the Super Bowl. Not afraid in a situation like this to try something different.
Well, I mean, to win games, to really get to a high level in this league, think about the people that have won and have done well in the playoffs. The coaches are risk takers. You know, you got to keep putting your team. You got to trust them. Put them in situations where they can excel, and it doesn't backfire. The Steelers are a great example of that.
One of those things that we talk about so many times in a ball game is, guys, great players have to make great plays. Well, he gives them that opportunity to make a great play.
Mike Tomczak, the backup quarterback, is the holder. Johnson from 51 for the lead. It's long enough. It's good. No, it is not. Just missed. Just flirted with the yellow paint. In fact, one of the officials started to raise his arm. So Johnson flirts with the lead, but just misses wide.
Surprisingly, has a lot of leg strength. I didn't think he could get it there, Paul. Gets it there easily.
And just scrapes the outside of the upright. Oh, my. And that is the end of the first half. The Broncos and the Steelers tied at 21. And we'll be sending you to New York, our Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report, right after these messages from your local station.
Well, back in our New York studios, along with Chris Collinsworth, Sam Weish, and Joe Gibbs, and just 2 weeks remain in the NFL's regular season. Let's take a look at the playoff picture. Beginning in the AFC, Denver, Pittsburgh, and New England began the day as division leaders, but only Denver has an outright lead. This situation, Joe Gibbs, is extremely fluid.
Let's talk about who's going to the Super Bowl, home field advantage. And the fact that Denver and Kansas City both are undefeated this year at home. They both have bitter experiences in the playoff when they had home field the last 2 years. I think if whoever gets this, I don't think that's going to happen to them again. So I think you got to say, though, Kansas City, with that schedule, probably has the upper hand.
But don't you think that Denver's the better team? I mean, if you just get one team on a neutral field, that Denver's the best team, but I'm not so sure that they're going to get the home field. Looks to me like Kansas City ultimately will have that.
Neutral field doesn't happen until the Super Bowl.
That's right.
And I had to agree with him.
Okay, one very key game is next Saturday. Pittsburgh visits New England. A special day and time, 3:30 Eastern time for the NFL on NBC. Kickoff just after 4 o'clock Eastern time. And this game, Chris, is going to be very important.
Yeah, it sure is. And I think especially for Pittsburgh, who certainly are going to have their hands full all day today with the Denver Broncos, and then to have to go to New England and finish up on the road at Tennessee. Don't forget, Pittsburgh's made their mark now with a lot of home games early in the season. So a big, big challenge for them next week on Saturday.
There's a team we haven't mentioned that Sam says keep an eye on.
Keep an eye on the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is a team that nobody's talking about a lot because they haven't been at the top of the division all the way through, but they play the New England Patriots the last game of the season in Miami. That could decide who wins the AFC East.
All right, now let's talk about the NFC playoff picture. San Francisco is on top, but we saw last week they are vulnerable. Green Bay leads the Central, where 4 teams might emerge with playoff berths. In the NFC East, it's possible that for the first time since the merger, the NFC East champ won't have 10 or more wins. We were talking about that NFC East. You still think the champion might be Dallas?
Well, I think the best team is still the Dallas Cowboys. That doesn't mean that they're going to win the championship, but when you look at the NFC as a whole, again, I still think the best team, the Green Bay Packers. But if they have to go to San Francisco and try and win a playoff game out there, I'm not sure the best team is going to end up in the Super Bowl.
And Joe, once again, we get back to what you were talking about, home field advantage, whether it's in Green Bay, whether it's in San Francisco, that's the most significant aspect here.
If it's Green Bay, I don't think anybody beats Green Bay. I think the question is, could Green Bay, just like Chris says, can they go out and play the 49ers? I talked about our tough experiences there, the Redskins. We couldn't do it. I think this team, though, Green Bay would have a good chance of doing it.
You know what the problem Green Bay has is the rest of this season, right? They're so beat up. Even if they win this ball game or lose this ball game, rather, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're still in first place, but they're so beat up. I tell you, they go into these playoffs in the worst kind of way.
All right, guys, we'll take time out. Our NFL and NBC halftime activities continue. Delivering our own smiles, Greg Gumbel along with Chris Collinsworth, Sam Weiss, and Joe Gibbs. Here are the scores and highlights as we have them for you right now. We'll begin with the game in Kansas City where the Chiefs have rolled up a 20-0 lead on the Oakland Raiders. Kansas City can clinch a playoff spot with a win today. 3-0 Chiefs in the first. Raiders guilty of poor tackling. Donnell Bennett bounces off count of 1, 2, 3 different defenders. 9-yard touchdown, Chiefs up 10-0. They were up by 13 in the second when Rich Gannon, play action, rolls to his right, can't find an open receiver. Doesn't matter. Takes it in from 5 yards out. Chiefs go up by a score of 20-0. Chiefs ran roughshod over the 49ers last week. Could have fallen flat. They haven't.
They certainly did not. And Rich Gannon has been simply sensational in this ballgame. Marty Schottenheimer on the pregame show said that Elvis Grbac would be his quarterback as soon as he came back and healthy. But I don't think you can take the football away from Rich Gannon. He is doing things with this offense that Elvis never did.
All right, the game that you folks are watching in Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, the Chiefs and the Denver Broncos are tied at 21 apiece. And this game has gone back and forth, and what an aerial show put on by both John Elway and by Cordell Stewart. The Broncos, one of only 9 teams with a winning record at Three River Stadium. After a Pittsburgh turnover, Elway strikes first. Down the sideline, he beats Donnell Wolford. Rod Smith does. 37 yards and a touchdown, 7-0 Denver. Cordell Stewart comes back, perfectly thrown to Yancey Thigpen, and Thigpen does a little dipsy-doodle on the sideline. He eludes all kinds of guys in white uniforms and goes 33 yards for a touchdown to tie the game at 7. 14-7 Denver in the second. Elway again, Rod Smith again. 25 yards, touchdown. 21-7 Denver. Pittsburgh done, not by a long shot. Cordell Stewart, Yancey Thigpen, 69 yards. Darian Gordon stops because of the flag, but guess what? It was against the defense. 21-14 Broncos. And then Thigpen caps a big first half, catches his third touchdown pass, a 20-yarder from Cordell Stewart, and they are tied at 21 apiece. This is a fun game to watch,
It's
Joe.
a fun game to watch. When I was coaching with the Redskins, we had a signal if we wanted the quarterback to look at a particular person on a pass. In this case, I'd be going, look at, Thigpen. That's all I'd tell Cordell. Hey, just keep throwing to him. We're going to be okay. We had a discussion here, though. We were talking about an easy time that Elway was having with the secondary area of Pittsburgh. And I think what's happened, we're trying to analyze it. I think they have had so many losses to free agency. Here we see Hoying and Plummer's numbers the last 2 weeks, and now Elway doing a great job in the first half. I think what's really happened to Pittsburgh, we talk about Cowher doing a great job of replacing people, but they've lost a lot of people, and particularly at corner. You got Willie Williams, Rod Woodson, their pass rushers, Greg Lloyd, and Kevin Green, and so they've taken some big losses on the defense. But I think right now Pittsburgh's bounced back. Great game. I'm excited. Give me some popcorn and watch the second half of this.
You know, and I thought Cordell Stewart's supposed to be a second-half quarterback. If he is, they might score 100 here in this ball game. But what is really impressive, Greg, about this one is the fact that he is doing this, Cordell Stewart is, against the #1 ranked pass defense in the AFC. This isn't some fluke out there. This kid is really coming of age right now.
What do you want to bet the Denver defensive coaches are going, look at Big Ben?
That's right.
In the Battle of the Bays in Tampa, the Green Bay Packers hold a 1-point lead on the Bucs. That game is now early in the second half. Sam?
This one, I knew it would be a defensive battle. Both of them have good defenses, but turnovers have led to all the scores. Brett Favre really trying to win this thing by himself, a lot of scrambling. I thought he'd get banged up, but it was Trent Dilfer who twisted an ankle, but came back in the second half and is playing.
Interesting game in Jacksonville. The New England Patriots came out on fire against the Jaguars and lead at 20-7 early in the second half. The Jags looking for a 14th straight win at home and a playoff berth. 3-0 Pats in the first. Mark Brunell back to throw, blindsided by Steve Israel. Willie McGinnis recovers the fumble for the Pats at the Jaguar 48, and that led to this. Bledsoe to Troy Brown, 9-yard touchdown. 10-0 Patriots in the end zone. Troy Brown says, here you go, kid, go sell that for some good money. Jaguars get on the board in the second half. Just before the half, 20 yards, Brunell to Keenan McCardell, 13-7, but Bledsoe drives the Pats 78 yards. He goes 5 yards to Ben Coates with 3 seconds remaining. 20-7 is the score now as they play the second half. In Philadelphia, Giants taking advantage of Eagle turnovers, 3 of them to be exact, 21-7, New York in the lead. In Chicago, at Soldier Field, the Bears with a 17-3 lead on the Buffalo Bills. In Baltimore, the Seahawks and the Ravens in a shootout at 17-17 early in the second half. And in New Orleans, the Rams and the Saints are tied at 13 at halftime. We'll send you back to Pittsburgh for the second half right after this message from the National Football League.
What time? Put it down. One more half, baby. One more half. It ain't over yet.
Cordell Stewart as he left the field at halftime, and here are the results of that first half. And Stewart, one of the shining stars for the Steelers, as it's tied at 21 with a 232-yard passing half. As we look at our Coors Light halftime statistics, that's less than 100 yards off his career high. Threw for 317 against Jacksonville earlier this year. It's interesting, these two teams have been terrific when they lead at halftime. The Steelers have won every game when they're ahead at halftime this year, and Denver's on a run of 18-0 when they're ahead at halftime, so it's only appropriate that they're tied at 21. We'll see.
Well, one thing to have it, Pittsburgh plays extremely well here. Even the coaches told us that the last time they were here. They play well at home. And Elway said himself, we got to either win on the road now or we're going to be on the road through the playoffs.
When I look at the game in the first half, Denver, I'm interested. What are they going to do? They've got to change on defense because they're playing. Cordell's going to have to beat his throwing. That is no good. We've got to change now.
Yeah, Stewart has shown that he's going to find the open receivers, and they have been wide open. And Broncos get the ball to open the second half. Vaughn Hebron, a short kickoff at the 15. And Hebron twists out to the 30-yard line. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Dick. Well, I talked to Bill Cowher, and he said, guys, very proud of the way we held together and stuck together. He told them as they left the locker room, we must find a way. We will find a way. If you have the desire, we will get this done. They're going to continue to throw the ball to Yancey Thigpen. Now, I talked to Mike Shanahan, very disappointed in his defensive backfield. He said that Darian Gordon will stay in the game. He's going to be challenged. We expect him to be challenged, and he's going to come up big. We're sticking with him. Dick?
All right, Jim. First down, Denver. Starts the second half from the 30-yard line. Elway to the sideline. Whoa! Dangerously close to being intercepted by Chad Scott.
That thing never came out right. When it came out of his hand, I don't know whether it was hit, but that ball just never got there.
It had to get tipped to the line of scrimmage for John Elway. Single coverage outside to throw it that far behind the receiver.
All right, look at it here. When this thing comes out, it just looks like it.
Well, I know why now. People at his feet, it made him jump just a little, and he twirled it with his finger, threw it inside.
Down the middle, incomplete. Shannon Sharp, closest white jersey, and Sharp, who started today as the leading receiver for Elway with 58 catches, has not caught a ball yet. There are the comparisons, the two quarterbacks in the first half, with Stewart out throwing Elway. And receiver Shannon Sharp with blanks. Yancey Thigpen, the leader for the Steelers, 4 catches, 3 touchdowns.
He's only averaging 38.5 a catch.
Tight end Sharp lines up. Elway fires, complete. And Sharp has his first catch, and it's good for a first down out at the 46-yard line. 16 on the play.
Isn't it amazing how when Dick Enberg talks about a guy he ends up making a play, here comes Shannon Sharp. You're not going to stay blank long. It's a nice move that he makes, Phil, that he just slide into the open spot.
That's the point, Paul. He slid into the open spot. Elway has a strong enough arm to throw it in there before the defense can react.
He's closing in on a 1,000-yard season as well with 2 to play. They go to San Francisco next week and finish the season at home against San Diego. Terrell Davis drawing a crowd, plugs for a yard or so. Earl Holmes and others in on the tackle.
Hey, I heard we were talking about what an advantage it is for Pittsburgh to play here, how good they play. And I remember when Jacksonville came in here a few weeks ago, they said the same thing. The Steelers are a different team when they play here on both sides of the ball, their offense and especially the defense.
After this play, but what causes that? Why, if they're a good football team, why can't they take it on the road?
Noise helps the defense to pass rush. They feel good. Familiar setting.
2nd and 9 for Elway. Fires complete, and that's a tough catch as a crowd of 3 around Willie Green, and the veteran pulls in the ball for a gain of about 10. It's going to be close to a first down. Myron Bell and Carnell Lake were there on the tackle.
I don't know whether to say this is a tough catch, a great throw, or kind of because he's well covered, and Elway just throws a rocket in there, and Green does a good job. Defenders on him. Myron Bell on one side, Carnell Lake on the other, hangs on to the football.
Good enough for the first down. Davis on the draw. And he earns a tough 2 or maybe 3. Joel Steed, 93. Earl Holmes, 50, make the tackle. Steed on the nose. He and Ted Washington up at Buffalo are going to really be battling it out for a Pro Bowl bid. Steed has never made the Pro Bowl. Many feel this is his year, that he's been brilliant inside.
Well, they say the one thing about Steed and also Kirkland and Holmes, those 3 guys form a triangle in the middle of that defense, and they do a lot of stunts in a lot of games, and the guys up front say he's the best.
They don't get stats, though, those nose tackles.
They're there to protect the linebackers, so the linemen like Joel Steed.
Elway out of the backfield to Griffith, and the fullback tucks it away and battles to the 28-yard line. That's going to be close to a first down. Carnell Lake, the tackler.
Phil, it's really surprising. They don't throw the ball more to Howard Griffith, because every time that he goes into motion, nobody really stays with him.
Well, they don't feed him very often. They figure that's just a place at the table that never gets served.
Well, what happens is, Paul, every time he really goes in motion, you're just seeing the Steeler defense in a zone, so it looks like nobody's going with him, because when you're in a zone defense, when people move, you just kind of stand there and you react, and you wait for them to come to you.
Good enough for the first down, so Elway with his 3rd first down on this trip to move the ball to the Pittsburgh 33, tied at 21, just underway in the second half.
You know, you talked about the run defense of Steelers. Joel Steed, Earl Holmes, Levon Kirkland inside. They're so good inside, it makes teams then start trying to go outside, and we have a fast defense. You know, that's why the Steelers win a lot of those battles.
Fake to Davis, the throw to Griffith again. And he's hit immediately at the 30-yard line by Chad Scott, the young cornerback, #1 pick out of Maryland.
You know, when I saw this play, I thought about Cordell Stewart when he ran a bootleg a little while ago in the first half. When he ran out there was nobody out there. Elway didn't have to throw the ball this soon. I mean, he had all day. Everybody was blocked to the inside. Elway got outside, and I think released it a little bit too soon. He could have waited.
Cordell Stewart trying to feed off that terrific first half, being chilled on the sidelines by this significant drive engineered by Elway to open the second half. 2nd and 7. Davis Following Griffith is to the 25-yard line. 5 more yards for Terrell Davis. Holmes another tackle, and running up the total now for Terrell Davis, the league's leading rusher, 56 yards today on 15 carries.
So this is one of the first drives I think we've seen, Phil, where they're running some time off the clock. Usually they're banger in the end zone, the other guys get the ball back.
Showed you earlier that Elway has moved into a tie with Warren Moon for 4th place all-time touchdown passes. Warren Moon has just connected for Seattle to move one ahead of Elway. Davis again, big hole. Boy, does he run hard, and a first down at the 20-yard line. He's a defiant ball carrier.
Yeah, but Levon Kirkland, he's a defiant linebacker. That's what I'll tell you, Terrell Davis, when he makes the jump. Watch C99 in that picture. Watch what 99 does. Come on, Terrell. Come on, Terrell. Get over here. Watch this. Wham!
Well, he's making up for that block that Terrell put on him in the first half. But it's a first down on the 5 yards by Davis at the 20. And this drive already consuming over 5 minutes. Elway, a pump, and the throw, and a man open, incomplete to Rod Smith. And Smith trying to duplicate Yancey Thigpen with 3 touchdown catches in the game.
The Denver Broncos, they are doing a lot of double moves on the outside. Rod Smith, the stop and go. This is a perfect throw. Back shoulder. Rod Smith adjusts, takes his eyes off the balls at the last second. Look at him.
Hits him in the shoulder.
Hits him in the shoulder.
But you know, watch Chad Scott. Remember we talked before, watch him. He only reacts when the receiver reacts. So Scott puts his arm up as the ball gets there. That's the way to play defense.
They're working on Scott, his Elway, while Cordell Stewart picking on Darian Gordon. Davis runs into a crowd. Dante Jones leads the charge along with Kevin Henry.
Yeah, Terrell Davis going in the hole. Tony Jones pulling around the right tackle. Watch the right tackle pull around Tony Jones. Terrell gets a little impatient. Get out of the way, big man. And Tony just clears a big hole for about 5-yard gain.
Well, he pushed Tony through the hole.
They spotted at the 17, so it's 3rd down and 7. Six-minute drive. Elway sends Davis way out to the right this time and brings him in motion to the inside. Fakes to him. Throws incomplete to Griffith. Covered well by the Steelers, and Nolan Harrison was the man that shot through to hurry Elway's throw.
Nolan Harrison did not worry about any kind of fakes or anything Elway's going to do. Look at 74. I've got Elway. You come outside, I'll make you throw the ball. He does. They drop it.
Now on comes Jason Elam to try the field goal. It'll be about 35 yards. Looks as if they'll set it right at the 35. Elam, who has been deadly from inside the 40 in his career, 93 out of 100 inside the 40. And the Broncos take the lead. 35-yard field goal, Jason Elam, 24-21. The Monongahela and the Allegheny working hard to form the Ohio again today here in the city of Pittsburgh. As we remind you tonight, it's bloopers first at 7, then a new time, Dateline, special time of 8, 7 Central, and then the movie Terminal Velocity, Charlie Sheen and Natasha Kinski, all on NBC this evening. But Dateline, a new time on this Sunday at 8 o'clock.
Are you on bloopers, Paul? You should be. I mean, it
would have his own show.
Yeah, it would just kind of like it just goes together. Paul McGuire and bloopers.
I'll do that.
All right.
24-21 as Denver strikes first in the second half. Down it comes to Andre Coleman. Coleman reverses his field, leaves his blockers, and makes it to the 23-yard line. 24-21, Denver leads here in Pittsburgh. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Three Rivers. The Steelers finally get their mitts on the ball after that 6-minute, 6-second drive by Elway, and Broncos leading to a 35-yard field goal by Jason Elam. Cordell Stewart sets up at his own 22. Johnson in motion. And Jerome Bettis off tackle. Breaks breaking tackles out to the 29-yard line. Tim Lester, the fullback, leading the way. And the value of Lester, the fullback from Eastern Kentucky. He was a teammate of Bettis with the Rams. Look at it, 34. Blocks Atwater. 34. Off Mobley. 34. Lester seals against Mobley. No wonder Bettis took him to the Pro Bowl when he made it in 1994.
He should. Any good running back, though, in the NFL, almost always, except maybe for Barry Sanders, has a good lead blocker in front of him from the fullback position.
Stewart, wide open is Thigpen. First down at the 44. Gordon and Atwater make the tackle, and they continue to go to Gordon's side of the field. For those of you who have not been with us, first half, Yancey Thigpen, a career game in 30 minutes. 3 touchdown catches from Cordell Stewart. 33, 69, and 20 yards for Thigpen.
The one thing that people didn't see that just joined us is the moves that this guy has made. He has really gotten himself open.
Thigpen from Winston-Salem State. Bettis ad-libs his way and powers out for a couple, makes at least 3 yards before Crockett and Gordon can make the tackle.
Neo Smith, number 90, came over here from Kansas City. He's had a pretty good first half. He's on Jason Strelzak to make a move and fell down. That's the old fall down move.
Jerome Bettis now with 61 yards and Terrell Davis 64 yards. So their little individual rushing battle separated by only 3. Stewart, 2nd and 7. Slips as he throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Charles Johnson. Darian Gordon diving in to defend.
Phil, you can describe his throwing motion, but back there between the 45 and the 35-yard line, there's a piece back there that he slips on. Watch his leg go out.
His front foot, Paul, good observation. His foot slips, and what that does when your foot slides out from under when you're a thrower, it makes your arm actually speed up. That's one of the reasons why the ball went down outside.
Now 3rd down and 7 for Pittsburgh.
That little space out there, that's where second base is, and that's a different part of the field, a different part of rug.
I always hated this field for all those infield spots.
Top of the shotgun, Stewart. Whoa! Shooting through and a fumble, and a flag down. There may have been a face mask on the play as the Broncos come with Tim McKyer, the veteran corner. But did he get a piece of Stewart's face mask in making the tackle?
They are calling a face mask on McKyer. But now the referee is back in back. They're calling it face mask. McKyer, I mean, that was terrific what he did. When he saw Cordell Stewart getting his arm back, he jumped straight up in the air right at him. But the problem was when he came down, he caught his face mask.
We have face mask, 5 yards on the defense. Repeat 3rd down.
So you lose the sack. They mark that off from the line of scrimmage.
But watch Tim McKyer. Good scheme. Everybody occupied inside. He comes free. He has to jump because he's afraid Cordell's going to throw it. And you can see, gets his right hand on the face mask.
I'll tell you, when you turn the helmet like that, Dick, as soon as you turn the guy's head, that's usually a 15-yard penalty. That determines it. That time he caught him, Cordell turned just a little bit and he let go.
So it'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Steelers as the design defensively for Denver works.
Well, it was a good change-up. Didn't see it in the first half. Caught the Steelers by surprise. The penalty stopped the big play for him.
Stewart over the middle. Followed by the Broncos and right into the arms of Will Blackwell. First down at the Bronco 42, a 13-yard play.
Well, when your passing game is hot, sometimes you got to get away with a few breaks. The ball is tipped. Glenn Cadrez tips it. Will Blackwell stays with it.
What a concentration by Blackwell.
It is. Oh, one hand behind him. I talked about Denver, 2 change-ups already in the second half. They blitzed, hadn't seen that one, and that time they played a real soft zone behind all the receivers, trying not to give up those big plays.
First down at the 40. Stewart, caught by the tight end Bruner, breaks a tackle, gets a couple more. His first reception of the game, down to the 33-yard line. Aldridge and Atwater make the stop.
The one thing I'm seeing Cordell Stewart do today that we didn't see in the past games that he played in. Now, even though Yancey Thigpen has 3 touchdowns, but he is spreading the ball all over the field. He's finding other targets than primary targets.
Well, when they were singled outside, Paul, when they were single-covered receivers, he's throwing to them. Now they're doubling the outside the 2 wide receivers. You got to look inside.
Warner only 13 catches, but highly praised for his blocking. And he tries to seal on Lucille inside and does for Bettis, and Bettis denying tacklers to the 14.
You know, we talk about the blocking of Tim Lester, and there's a reason for it. I mean, the guy gets out in front of Jerome Bettis. Jerome Bettis loves to follow this guy. There's excellent blocking along the line of scrimmage. Here comes Lester. You see the kick-out block he makes right there? That opens a hole for Bettis. And when Tim Lester came in yesterday, the nicest guy you ever want to see, but when he blocks, and always right there, he just knocks him out of the hole. He get good block. Tim Lester just does a terrific job. And really, Dick, talking to him yesterday, Tim Lester said to us, you know, I don't care about carrying the ball. I only carry it 2 times.
Oh, he's a tremendous lead blocker for Bettis. First down as Stewart looks, fires, complete to Johnson. Out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Ray Crockett, the defender. Johnson, who missed 3 games mid-season with a knee injury, now back in full form. The number 1 pick 3 years ago by the Steelers from Colorado. Bill Coward said he's really watched his language since he had some problems earlier in the year. He said he was embarrassed, he apologized, and he said the worst part was when I got home, my wife Kay said she had to explain to my family what I said, or at least my lips were being read to say on national television. He said, I have no excuse for that, and I tend to be an example, and I'm not going to do that anymore. More power to him.
And that's tough to do. It tells you a lot about Bill Cowher. He has to think about it because, Dick, we know in these games, everything is so spontaneous, so emotional. For him to watch his language, which he has, I give him a lot of credit. And it's such a very good example for the young kids watching the game.
Justin Strelzik leaves with an injury, and Jim Sweeney, the veteran center, has been moved out to tackle.
Dick, I don't know what happened, because when they broke the huddle, Strelzik went up to the line of scrimmage and he started limping. He brought himself out of the ball game.
Have to hurry now. Play clock down to 4. Bettis breaks some tackles at the line of scrimmage. No gain turns into 6 yards, and Braxton saves the touchdown.
You know, go ahead. But what happens, really, Paul, it's a good job of the defensive line of the Broncos. They're going to get up. They stop the rush by the offensive lineman, but nobody can get free to get their arms around Bettis. He has the speed for a big man to kick it outside.
And one thing that Bettis does on this play, though, he's so patient on the play. What he does, he goes up in. Keith Traylor is going off to the sidelines, but Bettis goes up into the pile. He sees there's really no place to go. So almost like he pauses for a second or so to wait to see if something on the outside, and then just slides.
It's a first down just inside the 4 as Bettis' total now up to 87 yards, 36 on this drive for number 36. 24-21, Denver's tenuous lead as the Steelers trying to drive it in for the go-ahead score.
This is an impressive drive.
as he wants to be called, the man, the quarterback. 3 touchdown passes and now a touchdown run to give the Steelers their first lead of the game.
Well, he is the man. It's not even fair once you get inside the 5-yard line to defend the Steeler offense, but knowing Cordell can keep the ball too.
Norm Johnson has the extra point, and Pittsburgh leads 28-24. You're watching the NFL on NBC.
Cordell Stewart, what he basically does here, he scores on a fancy quarterback sneak. This is really getting separation from the offensive line, the quarterback. He lets everybody commit, then he shoots through the little hole for the touchdown.
And the 28-24 lead. Each team has scored with their single possession of this third quarter. The Broncos having to settle for the 35-yard field goal by Elam. Kickoff down to Hebron at the 6. To the 29-yard line. Lethan Flowers securing the tackle. John Elway warms up. His turn next when we return to Three Rivers. Back in Pittsburgh, a reminder, the NFL season extends to the World Wide Web on NFL.com, the league's official website. Visit NFL.com for all the scores and statistics, including a complete roundup of this weekend's scores in action. All at NFL.com. Working on Neil Smith's elbow. He's had a triceps injury. Away from his 29. Look at the time. Fires now for Smith on the deflection. Picks it off. And Rod Smith, who has 2 touchdowns, is all the way to the 31-yard line. He fumbled out of bounds. Carnell Lake finally got him off the field to play. 41 yards on the play. Elway given much too much time.
Well, it's a good job of the offensive line. That's where it starts, but also excellent job with the quarterback, John Elway. Buys extra time, moves around, resets, finally makes the throw down the field. Dante Jones tips it. Elway had to be upset. Should have got it over the linebacker's head to begin with.
How about this? We've seen 2 tip passes today by linebackers that have ended up in long games.
First down just outside the 30. Rod Smith in motion. Reverse.
Trouble.
Didn't come close to working. Rod Smith runs into Gilden, Jason Gilden.
Let me explain something about this. Don't try to run some trick stuff against the Pittsburgh Steelers, because these guys are a disciplined defense. They stay at home. Justin Gilden up on the top. Watch this. He stays there. He just waits. Jason Gilden never moves.
And if he wasn't going to get him, there were about 3 others that would have.
We saw earlier they tried to play action fake one way. Jason Gilden was right there in the line of the pass. So what makes you think he's going to chase the run any farther on the reverse? He's waiting, doing a good job of staying disciplined.
Jim Haslick's defense with a 9-yard loss on first down. Elway underneath. Incomplete. The ball was there, but Shannon Sharp couldn't tuck it away. Chris Oldham, the nearest defender, but Shannon Sharp will catch 9 out of 10 of these.
I'll tell you one thing about Elway. Like in the first half we saw, take a look at this pass. Dad hits him right in the stomach and never gets his arms around it. Elway knows. We're not blowing smoke at Elway all the time, but the thing about this, when he throws the ball and you don't catch it, he puts it where you should be able to catch the football.
Well, those are 6 passes today that Elway thought should have been caught. 3rd and 19. Trying to get in field goal range, Elway. Intercepted, a diving interception by Myron Bell. Bell, who played at Michigan State playing safety, the starter with Lake moving outside, has his first interception of the season.
Myron Bell is doing an excellent job of covering Shannon Sharp today. We've seen 3 times he's cut underneath him trying to make the play. This time Elway in trouble. He makes the break, gets the interception.
First interception by Elway in 191 passes.
Welcome back to Pittsburgh. Well, after that last play, John Elway came over to Willie Green, screamed something at him. He was very, very unhappy with him, and Green screamed right back. By the way, Justin Strelzik pulled left calf. He's out of the game. Dick?
All right, Jim, thank you. Elway's streak of 190 in a row without intercepted, broken.
No.
Stewart throwback screen, and it's dropped by John Whitman, the fullback from Penn State. Seemed to be fairly well covered by the Bronco defense.
Well, we saw it earlier. Pittsburgh's defense did a good job in reverse. This is almost the same thing, but with the passing game, you kind of call this the old shoot screen. You get everybody running one way and you throw it all the way across the field. And
the only problem is everybody was standing around. This play took about 48 minutes to develop. You don't have that much time to run a screen, Dick.
Myron Bell celebrating his first interception of the year. Final minute, third quarter. Stopping the Denver drive. Pittsburgh leads 28-24. Give it to Bettis. All the way to the 41-yard line. 23 more for Bettis as he moves over the 100-yard mark.
I think this is a good example of a quick defense that's starting to slow down and a big, powerful offense. It's not getting any smaller.
Well, Damani Dawson told us yesterday, Phil, as the center for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if we can get a hat on a hat and put one guy on a guy, all we have to do is get him through the hole, and he's moving.
End of 3. Pittsburgh leads by 4. We'll be back after these messages from your local. The December scene in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Light snow, 28-24 Steelers. First down as we open the fourth quarter. Cordell Stewart off play action. Hit. Throws incomplete. Neil Smith was the man pressuring Cordell Stewart. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Dick, in Kansas City, the Chiefs are rolling it up against the Raiders. Rich Gannon rolls, stops, comes back this way. This is a 2-yard touchdown pass to Tony Richardson to boost the Chiefs to a 30-0 lead. Dick, over the last 2 weeks, the Chiefs have outscored Bay Area teams 74-9, and there's still 5 minutes and change remaining in Kansas City.
All right, Greg, and they don't allow any scores in the second half. The Chiefs win how many games? Like 7, 8 games without allowing a touchdown to the opposition in the second half. Jerome Bettis, now there's the key, unable to turn running north-south, still running laterally. Then he's a different target as Keith Traylor makes the stop.
Well, that's what they talk about Jerome Bettis. If you can get him going left and right, now you have a shot at him because he's not at full power. But when Jerome Bettis finally hits the hole and his shoulders are square with the field, man, look out. Because when you take a look at it, after the hit, look at the yards he gets.
Yeah, you don't want that bus to get in full gear going straight ahead, do you? Want to keep making those little soft swings.
Yeah, we'll keep him in the parking lot.
That's it. Not many bus stops here for the Denver Broncos. That was one. 3rd and 13. Stewart, plenty of time. Complete to George Jones. And George Jones brought down by Tyrone Braxton, the veteran safety, shy of the first down at the 36. It's 4th and 6.
I think you're in the area of the field where you almost have to go for it. That was a good job with the Steeler offense, Cordell Stewart. Pick it up a few yards. Now you give your team a chance to go for it on 4th down.
And they are going to do exactly what you said. They're going to go for it.
Well, because a missed field goal, the spot would be out about the 43, 42-yard line, would give Denver much too good a field position. You might as well, you're going to fail. You might as well fail from right where the ball is spotted down.
And Paul, you know how we know how you punters are. What happens? You get it on the 36, and most of the time you punt it in the end zone anyway.
Yeah, they ran out of time, so Stewart had to use a timeout. He started to set the line. It was already at 1. 28-24 Steelers. Welcome back to Three Rivers. It's a 4th down and a short 6 for the Steelers, who are going to go for it just outside the Bronco 35-yard line with a 4-point lead.
Spent a lot of time in the huddle on this play. Usually when they do that, it's a pass play. But
4 wide receivers with Stewart alone in the backfield. 5 wides. Here come the Broncos. The shovel pass, and it's going to run. Courtney Hawkins, first down at the Broncos 16-yard line.
You know why this worked? Cordell Stewart made it work because he waited for Hawkins to clear.
Bill Cowher loved it, a 20-yard gain.
He's out past the numbers. His lips could. Well, I won't say that. He's got that thing going out. He gets excited.
Someone gets real close, going to knock his chin up. Watch Cordell Stewart here, Phil. Watch him wait. He waits. He draws Atwater up, and once he gets Atwater beyond, Courtney Hawkins is wide open. It is all Cordell Stewart.
That's a great call. Stewart to the sidelines, complete to Yancey Thigpen inside the 10, twisted down. Darian Gordon and John Mobley.
Watch what the Steelers do on that last play, Paul. The shovel pass. Cordell's coming this way. Steve Atwater, once he comes up the field, Blackwell goes underneath him. The way you have to defend that play is Steve Atwater's got to stay back and play in between because Cordell's going nowhere. But
of course, you quarterbacks running the option play in pro football.
That's true. That's right.
Over 300 yards passing now for Cordell Stewart. Second down. Bettis picking a hole and battling to the 6. That'll be close to a first down. Aldridge and Mobley, the linebackers, able to drag down the 243-pound Bettis.
Let me ask you a question. You know, when you see this option play that Cordell just ran,
right.
You're playing this team. How many times would you really work against this play?
Denver probably did not work against it once the whole week because I don't think the Steelers have run it since the Jacksonville game, and usually only scout 4 games back, and that's been 5 games ago
That was the play in which Bettis scored in overtime to beat Jacksonville.
They ran it twice against Jacksonville, and it worked big both times.
Well, Mike Shanahan's team denied on the interception by Byron Bell, and now the drive engineered by Stewart that has brought third down and less than a yard at the 6.
My contention is Chan Gailey, the offensive coordinator for Steelers, does a good job of being always having a couple new wrinkles each week, but why don't more teams run their quarterback on special sneaks? You don't have to be a runner to do that. You don't have to be a running quarterback to do a shovel pass.
Yeah, better have a good line, though.
Well, that helps. That's right. But you can help your offensive line out with these type of plays.
Third and less than a yard. Easily picks up the first down inside the 5.
Now, how often do we talk about the quarterback sneak? Take your time as the quarterback. Chan Gailey, the offensive coordinator, says Cordell Stewart is the best sneaker he's ever seen in professional football. And you think, well, that's kind of funny, but really, there's a little art to this. Being patient. Of course, he's athletic, really helps, but does a good job of letting the block set up.
The first time he ran a quarterback sneak, Phil, he kind of waited and went out to the outside. This time he just took a sidestep and just went down underneath all of his linemen. Perfect.
This drive starting after the Bell interception. Now the 10th play, first and goal. Stewart to the end zone to Thigpen, almost intercepted by Gordon, and he did intercept. As they struggled in the end zone, Gordon had the leverage on the roll and comes up with a critical pick.
I'll tell you, this was dual reception at one time. And if Yancey Thigpen is strong enough to hold on to it, he can take it away from Gordon. And if they come down simultaneously, it goes to the offensive player. Here it is with Gordon and Thigpen. Look at, they both have the ball. Right here they both have it. Then Gordon pulls away, rolls over, and has the ball in his hand.
His 4th interception of the season, and does that ever deny Pittsburgh a big score that could have put them 11 points in the lead, and now it's the Denver sidelines that celebrates. The Broncos back with the ball.
Domino's Pizza, delivering 1 million smiles a day. Call for pizza now and share a smile during the game.
Welcome back on the touchback. Elway starts at the 20, trailing by only 4. Terrell Davis, quiet here in the second half, gains 3 into the arms of LaVon Kirkland. Well, it's been highs and lows for cornerback Darian Gordon. Here against Yancey Thigpen, the flag flies. He quits, and Thigpen goes 69 yards for a touchdown. One of his 3, and then Cordell Stewart trying to give Thigpen 4 touchdowns, pass a little short, and Gordon out-battles the receiver for the interception. Big play. Second down, Elway. Steps up and throws, incomplete, intended for Rod Smith. Myron Bell covering. Let's take a look
look at other scores. Kansas City rolling against the Raiders. That game almost over already, the 2-minute mark in the fourth. The Bays, Green, and Tampa, and the Packers in the lead. New England tied for first. Jacksonville tied for first in their respective divisions. Patriots will see them next Saturday. The Giants continue.
Jinx.
Boy, that's a great job by Jim Fossil. He'll get a lot of votes for Coach of the Year. Chicago trying to upset Buffalo. Seattle and Baltimore tied. Here, 28-24, third down Elway. Lots of time to the sidelines, complete. First down to Willie Green. Just stationed himself, a statue on the sidelines, and Elway guns him a 13-yard pass.
To throw a ball like this in the National Football League, it takes a lot of time. But watch the blitz coming inside. Here it comes, Darren Perry coming late. Look at the pickup. Shannon Sharp in the backfield does a good job. And Green going down the field, fakes like he's going long, he stops. Elway with a strong arm gets the ball before Fuller can make the adjustment.
He might have yelled at Green, but he also went back to him.
At the 37, Terrell Davis on the toss. Earns a hard yard into the arms of Joel Steed. Let's go to Greg Gumbel.
All right, Dick, for Pittsburgh fans, the news is still pretty good out of Jacksonville. Mark Brunell, second time today, a touchdown pass to Keenan McCardle. This one good for 12 yards, but they go for 2 to try to pull to within 8. The pass to Willie Jackson falls harmlessly to the turf. It's a 23-13 lead for the Patriots. Just over 5.5 to play in regulation, Dick.
You know, you've never said that. Harmlessly to the turf.
Gonna borrow it, though. Everything's free.
Yeah, that's right.
Elway on 2nd and 9. Hit from behind as he throws incomplete. Howard Griffith was in the area. Dante Jones, it appeared, got in behind Elway.
Well, they're coming on another blitz. Dante Jones, number 54, keeps working. It's a good job because Howard Griffith is out in the flat. Nobody covered him coming out of the backfield.
Boy, I tell you, Howard Griffith, if he catches the ball, he picks up 30 yards because there is absolutely nobody out there. Elway did not have time to throw.
Elway harassed, but not heavily by this pressing defense in Pittsburgh. Third down. Patiently waits and throws incomplete. Carnell Lake on Patrick Jeffers, and now a late flag.
This was thrown by the back judge, and I'm talking about way downfield.
You know what, though? What always alerts me right away, and I don't know if he interfered or not because I couldn't see, but Carnell Lake, as soon as the ball was thrown and went by him, he raised his hands up. And
that tells you he did it.
Well, that makes me
illegal
wonder.
Contact on the defense, number 37. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
See, that's not pass interference. If it's pass interference, is that where the ball is to be caught?
Look down at the bottom of the screen.
Well, they're booing that because there's, even on the scoreboard up here, they're seeing the end of it. But it was a holding call. You can't grab the guy.
So the first down extends the drive for Denver at the 43. 8 minutes, 45 seconds left, and Elway guns a long bomb for Smith. Incomplete off the fingertips at the 12-yard line. And does he, in the last 3-4 steps, break away from defenders? We've seen it all day. They seem to have him well covered. And look at this.
Well, from up here, it looks like there's no way he can get to this ball. Not from what you're seeing, but from what we see. And it looks like, and all of a sudden, he just outruns the football and almost made the grab.
How many of those have we seen today where the ball is in the receiver's hands, but they can't quite come up with the catch? Elway this time, well, he goes, well, I've seen it all day. He doesn't get too excited about it.
Second down 10. 28-24, Pittsburgh leads. Incomplete through the hands of Shannon Sharp. And another ball not pulled in. So Elway has really been bedeviled by his own receivers.
Well, I'll tell you, Shannon Sharp could just feel Kirkland coming. Watch LeVon Kirkland, number 79. You could feel this guy coming, and he also just let him know you're there.
Well, you know the old saying, you're going to get hit anyway, catch it. Kirkland.
That's a linebacker, folks. That's not a defensive lineman. That's why you know that.
The good Reverend Dr. Kirk.
They call him captain, too.
3rd and 10, Elway throws
throws quickly and complete, just shy of a first down to Patrick Jeffers. Chad Scott all over him, makes the play. And let's see where they spot. The Steelers think it's been too generous a spot.
It is, Dick. It really is. If they mark that ball at that line, this is too close.
At the 47-yard line.
Well, it's a blitz by the the Steeler defense. I don't even know how John Elway gets the ball off, but throws it perfectly inside for Jeffers. Good coverage by Chad Scott, but the ball is to the body of the receiver where he can't make a play on it.
It's a first down. I believe the official ruled that on the tackle that Jeffers' knee didn't go down, that he actually rolled him forward the extra yard.
Watch Elway. Chris Odom coming free. Well, doesn't really deliver a real big blow, but still John Elway sees him coming, stands nice and calm, and throws the ball where he has to.
I'll tell you, he ought to go after the game and thank Chris Odom, because Chris Odom could have put him back in next week sometime. He really did let up on the play. That was really a nice play by Odom.
This intense game, this intense week, and the drama high with 8:09 left in the fourth. First down to Davis. And Davis again. What little he gains is hard-earned. A couple yards. Earl Holmes and the Steeler defense there ready for him. Davis with only 71 yards rushing today.
All right, we're going to see the end of this thing where Jeffers, where he rolls, is he on the ground. Here is the catch, and watch where he hits. The ball is here. Now, is he down yet? The knee is down. I'm going to tell you what, they gave him an extra yard on this play. This was a terrible spot for Pittsburgh. Or a great spot for Denver.
There you go.
I got it.
Second down and 8. Scrambles, and Elway dives for a first down inside the Steeler 35-yard line. And at 37 years of age, Elway over 200 yards rushing again this season.
All right, Phil, no place to go. But you know what's interesting on the end of this play? Elway doesn't slide, folks. Watch this. He goes head first. Look where he hits, and look where they mark the ball. Because he is not down, he's not touched. Watch this. The ball hits there. Now watch where the mark is. It's right there is where they mark the ball.
That's right. Head first. You got to touch him for him to be down.
The 31-yard line, 14 on the play. Davis. And they can't spring Terrell Davis. The Steeler defense has been tough all day. Nolan Harrison this time got to him first with Earl Holmes in on another tackle. 75 yards for Davis today. He's been held under 100 only 3 times all year. 79 Atlanta allowed, then the Raiders 85 and Raiders 69 had his number in both games.
Yeah, the Raiders, the worst in the league. Stopping the run, but they do it to Terrell Davis twice.
The best rusher in the league. Second down and 6. Elway dumps it off to Terrell Davis, and he's tackled immediately at the 27-yard line by Kevin Henry.
Well, there's a guy you're talking about, that Kevin Henry. What a year he is having. Even Bill Cowher said about it. Jim Haslett?
No touchdowns allowed in the last 5 games in the final quarter. 28-24. Time ticking away. 5:35 left. 3rd and 6.
4-down territory.
No.
Yes.
Blitz by Lake. They pick it up. And now Elway in trouble. Lake on the second effort with a sack.
Now it may be 4-down territory.
Oh, no, it's not.
No.
2 sacks by the Steelers, both by Lake, who now has 5 in the last 2 games.
Well, that's a credit to the coverage down the field. John Elway avoids the blitz at first, looks down the field, nobody open, has to hold the ball. Carnell Lake gets the sack.
Oh, a long field goal attempt, 53 yards by Jason Elam. That's his longest of the year.
No, good.
Not even close. Steelers lead remains 4.
Carnell Lake up top, comes on the blitz. Elway steps up. Terrell Davis gets a a piece of him, pushes him behind. The Carnell Lake says, comes back to me.
Here's this ball. Does it get down? Rowan does really. He gets it down, just never hits it.
John Elway, the master of drives late in the game, hopes he gets another chance, but his team missing a field goal has presented the Steelers with great field position at the 43. Stewart brings Johnson in motion. Tosses to Bettis. He turns upfield and crushes to the 49, a gain of 6. A look now at our Miller-like game summary. Elway held under 50%, a couple of touchdowns, and Cordell Stewart having a banner day, 3 touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown, total of 4. Elway, receivers unkind, the unexpected, at least 7 drop passes, perhaps more. Kansas City has finished the work against Oakland, a 30-0 shutout. So a loss by the Broncos would move them back into a tie with Kansas City. Second down. Bettis stopped at the 49. It'll be 3rd and 2. Keith Traylor making the tackle.
You know, Dick, a minute ago we talked about it. I thought it was a pretty tough decision. Mike Shanahan kicking the long field goal into a little bit of a breeze, 53 yards. I thought in that situation you punt, try to get the Steelers back and go for one last final drive. Now you've given up field position again. When you get it back, you're going to be backed up and you have to have a long drive.
It is, because even if the Steelers don't make this first down, if they punt, they're going to make you at least go 80.
And if they make the first down, they're going to chew up more clock. It's down under 3.5 minutes. 3rd and 2. Offside Denver.
We got the first down anyway.
And George Jones has the first down inside the 45 to the 42. Neil Smith looked as if he lurched offside.
Well, they'll take the play on this because they'll get 1 yard more on the play than they would on the other. Or 2 yards more.
Now the clock management is crucial. Denver has its 3 timeouts left.
Offsides on the defense, number 93. Penalties decline. First down.
They call it on Traylor. Appeared to be Neil Smith who bumped offside.
Right on the top side. There's offside. That's Neil Smith.
The Steelers do such a good job on 3rd down. They're the best in the National Football League at picking up 3rd downs. And that was a good example. You think they're going to throw it, Cordell's going to run. They do a toss to the outside, pick up 5 or 6 yards.
Bettis gets a yard when most backs would have lost 1.
Yeah, but Steve Atwater is on a blitz, and he's the guy that came in and just jammed it up in the middle. Might not have made the tackle, but number 27 made the play.
Denver uses one of those timeouts. 3:13 remains. Welcome back, 28-24, the Steelers with only 3 minutes, 13 seconds left, and it's 2nd and 9 for Pittsburgh. Terrell Davis on the sideline, 75 yards today, leading the league, 1,722. Bettis has outrushed him, 119 for the bus. We move up close to Barry Sanders, who plays in Miami tonight. Stewart rolling, looking, gonna run it. Hit out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Bill Romanowski made the tackle. As the ticker goes through, some significant playoff news goes with the results. Kansas City now has assured a playoff spot with their 11th win, impressively over the dying Raiders. And Green Bay, with that win at Tampa Bay, clinches the Central NFC and a bye, first-round bye in the playoffs. Big win for the Packers.
Yeah, it's too cold to go anywhere though.
Jacksonville not out of it yet, down only 6 to New England as they try to keep pace with these Steelers. New England in that 3-way tie in the AFC East. Giants, that's big, at Philadelphia.
They're doing something I could never do, is win a game in Philly.
I'll tell you what, they are really playing some strong defense, the Giants, and getting enough offense to win football games.
Baltimore, well, they score every week, don't they? They're going to put up some points.
They're the new version of the San Diego back in the early 80s. They score a lot of points, but they give up a lot of them, too.
So it comes down with 3:02, Denver's second timeout, stopping the clock. And now a very important 3rd down and 6.
The last play was important. Bill Romanowski kept containment on Cordell Stewart. That's what you have to do if you're an outside rusher. Don't let him get out of the pocket.
The toss to Jones on the sweep left. And he's met. Charges forward to the 34-yard line where it's going to be 4th and 2. Darius Johnson makes the tackle.
Now what do? Do you go for it on 4th down, you punt it, or do you kick a field goal for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
So you punt the ball. I really think you punt the ball. For the simple reason is just put it back as far as they can go.
Alfred Williams is the injured Bronco. Been playing with tricep injuries on both arms, first one and last week the other. So we'll take a break here. 2:51 remains. Steelers by 4. With our director John Gonzalez, producer Tommy Roy, welcome back to Pittsburgh. Alfred Williams helped off the field. And a big decision here for Bill Cowher on 4th down and 2 at just inside the 34 of Denver. You punt it, try to pin Denver deep with no timeouts, or with the 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning, and see if they can drive the length of the field for a touchdown. Or do you go for it here and try to win the game right now?
I think you punt the ball, and even though the ball is on the 34-yard line, obviously they're not going to do that, or wait for them to go offside a long count.
That's what they could do, yeah.
But I mean, to give Elway this much room.
But Bill Cowher, trying to prove something here, said we've got to take care of the doubters this week, was his theme throughout practices. And on 4th and 2, he's going to try to win it right here.
Could he try the shovel pass one more time? A nice safe play.
It's an option. He's got it easily. He's got more than that. All the way to the 17.
It only makes sense to run a play like that, give your quarterback a couple options, and make the defense react to you so they can't attack you. And that's what that play does.
Yeah, what that play did, watch Neil Smith, number 90. They catch him right, watch this. He can't go anywhere. He goes inside to take the runner. There's nobody to the outside to take Cordell. Mobley is the linebacker that has to be out there to make the play. They don't do it, and Cordell Stewart, this game is over.
Timeout called Denver.
Oh, Bill Cowher.
What if he's ever hit anybody with that chin?
Hold on to the ball, he says, with 2:17 to go.
You think he's ever hit anyone with that chin when he played? That could be a weapon.
Well, the jaw had some success. Don Shula, maybe this is the year of the chin. Well, he loves Cordell Stewart. I mean, the confidence that exudes when Cowher talks about this young man just because of plays like that.
Well, and they do a good job of playing to his strengths, and I don't think there's many coaches around the league, and I give Chan Gailey, the offensive coordinator, a lot of credit too, and Bill Cowher, that could handle a situation like this and handle a Cordell Stewart and do such a good job with him.
You know, talking to Bill Cowher yesterday, and what he said to us, and it's no difference to any of his other teams, but he says this is really the closest team I've ever had.
Yeah.
He said it may not be the best team I've ever had, but this is the closest. He said, I've got nothing but leaders on this football team.
But the two kind of usually go together.
Yeah, they do.
If you're really, really close, it'll probably turn out to be his best team.
Well, first down from the 15. Bettis barreling, 6 more to the 9. Tyrone Braxton finally got him down. And that'll take this game to the 2-minute warning. Bill Cowher's Steelers looking for win number 10, driven by this 40-year-old headmaster. They're on their feet and roaring here for 2 reasons. The Steelers lead, and the score has just been announced that New England has defeated Jacksonville 26-20. So a win moves Pittsburgh into sole possession of the Central Division.
It's 2nd down and 4 at the 9-yard line of the Broncos. 2 minutes to go, and Denver with only 1 timeout. Check that, no timeouts now. They have used all 3. Current drive, 8 straight rushes for 48 yards. Stewart with a key 4th down rush, but it's Bettis the workhorse. He'll get it again. Stewart, touchdown! Such a wonderful sequence of television shots. You had the remarkable Cowher, a special teams player when he was in the NFL, wild with emotion, and hired by the placid, calm Dan Rooney. A Rooney smile is like cartwheeling the 100 yards of the stadium here at Three Rivers. Cordell Stewart, a 5-touchdown game, 3 passes and 2 runs for this incredibly talented young man.
Well, it is a little quarterback sneak with the defensive line taking chances, trying to get to the backfield, make a play. Nobody there to look after the quarterback. And
just like I would say, I just assumed Bettis would get the ball, and so did the Broncos.
And here comes Bill. Watch out.
Watch out, he might want to kiss you.
That's it. Don't let him kiss you, but that's okay. I mean, I think it's pretty exciting and extraordinary, really, that the head coach just lets his emotions go, and just lives along with the players and enjoys it.
There's the owner, Dan Rooney, with that's big emotion from him.
I'll tell you, every one of these guys in this team, when you talk to them about Bill Cowher, the first thing they do is smile because they know that he's into the game with them.
Well, the Steelers down 21-7 in the first half have come back to take a commanding lead, 35-24. Hebron on the kickoff and gets it out to the 24-yard line with 1:51 left and time for another update.
All right, Dick, and there's more good news for Steeler fans from Jacksonville. 26-20 New England, last play of the game. Mark Brunell launches from about his own 30-yard line. This one will come down between the goal line and the 5, and it is batted down. That's how it ends. New England breaks the Jaguars' 13-game home winning streak, and the Patriots host the Pittsburgh Steelers next Saturday here on NBC. Dick?
Boy, that's going to be another terrific game next Saturday. Late game, 3:30. It'll all begin. These Steelers at New England. Elway, a little screen to Terrell Davis. Davis heads for the sidelines and is assisted by Darren Perry. No, they're going to say wind the clock, that he made contact, but they stopped the play.
They say stopped his forward progress in the field of play, pushed him back. Clock does not stop.
129, 128. Is Jason Gilden assisting the head linesman, trying to get the ball respotted after one of the Steelers accidentally kicked it. No flag as Elway throws over the middle, incomplete to Jeffers. So with the injury to Ed McCaffrey, Patrick Jeffers seeing more duty than he has all year. McCaffrey caught 40 balls this year. Hamstring injury, unable to start today. In fact, did not suit up. Another drop ball.
I thought maybe the Denver Broncos, their defense, had kind of fixed some of its problems. I thought up front, they've gotten a little stronger. They could maybe stand in there against a powerful team. But as we saw today, as time goes on, a big, powerful running team is just going to start wearing out a smaller defense.
Elway throws. Incomplete to Sharp. Elway very close to passing the line of scrimmage, but saw the yardsticks and then tried to feed it to his tight end, who's had a quiet day, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, he has. But, you know, when you're talking about this Pittsburgh Steelers offense, you talk about Bettis and Cordell. But the one thing that you mentioned right at the beginning of this game, Phil, is the offensive line. This that offensive line lines up, they're really not a hidden agenda with these guys. They kind of let you know exactly what they're going to do, and they get the job done. Yes, you do have that big guy banging in the back of you, Bettis, but I'll tell you what, this offensive line does a great job for this team.
4th and 6. This crowd at Three Rivers ready to celebrate if Elway doesn't convert. He doesn't. The Steelers take over on downs.
Well, Elway does the right thing in that last drive. Don't get hurt.
That's true.
That's it. You know, they're blitzing. The game is over. His main objective is just to, if they give you a chance, take it, but don't put your body at risk because you got to play for the next couple of games in the playoffs.
But this game did live up to everything we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be a great football game, and that it was.
Well, the Steelers have clinched their playoff spot. They go to New England next Saturday and then to Tennessee. This is their last home game of the regular season. And for Denver, it doesn't get easier. They have to go to San Francisco next Sunday and then home against San Diego in the finale. And it's the first time that the Broncos will look up at the scoreboard and say, boy, we just barely lost. The other 2 defeats by 2 and by 3 points to Kansas City and Oakland. Kneel down by Stewart.
In a game like this, when you look at the film, there's a lot of if we'd have. If we'd have done this, and if we'd have done that.
Well, you know what? I don't think so. I believe you look at the film and you go, man, they were just stronger than we were today. That was my sensation watching the game. The Steelers were bigger and stronger, and that's why they won.
Yeah, but don't you think Denver up 21-7? I mean, they had a chance to maybe put this team away and didn't do it.
There were some dropped passes.
Dropped passes, but Denver, to control the game, had to gamble on defense up front. They lost the battle outside. That's where they thought maybe they had a chance. The passing game beat the Denver Broncos, opened up the running game.
Cordell Stewart with the final play of the game. And that'll be a football that, well, Jerome Bettis was able to rip it away from Stewart. And Bettis runs to the sidelines going to give it to someone. I think Cordell wanted that one for his dad. 2 outstanding teams. 2 teams will be in the playoffs. 2 teams, like so many in the league, capable of going a long way once they get there. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Dick. Cordell Stewart getting congratulated by the Broncos. Congratulations, you're in the playoffs. You're down 21-7. What went on over on the sidelines? Because you're playing against what came into the game as the best team in the AFC.
Well, you know, I just went to the sideline and I saw the way things were going. I was looking at the coverages and, you know, there's a few things that I should have completed I didn't. I mean,
but you saw something with Darian Gordon. What was it?
And then I just talked to Chan on the phone. I said, let's run a certain route, and it started happening. And the more we ran, the more we wound up completing them. And it's just a matter of just taking our time, moving the ball down the field, and just scoring some touchdowns. And we wound up scoring some touchdowns to win the game.
How did you find your composure? Because Bill Cowher said there's got to be a way. We will find a way. How did he calm you down?
Well, you know, it was just the thing I had to deal with. It wasn't the coaches telling me just to go out and relax. I mean, because they tell me that every week. It was just a matter of me basically going out, relaxing, having fun, enjoying myself, knowing what was going on, and just because all practice, you know, things went well all practice, and it was just a matter of taking what I did at practice and applying it to the game today.
You have kind of reinvented the quarterback sneak. It used to be a guy just kind of took it and fell down for a yard. Tell us about the last couple of quarterback sneaks and the touchdown.
Well, I tell you, I can't remember the other one because the touchdown stands out more than anything, but I can remember Coach Malarkey, the tight ends coach, saying, you may go for a touchdown. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, yeah, right. And everybody saying, don't go over the top, make sure you keep your balance. And when I went in there, they had the left guard over to the left, and the linebacker was head up, the mighty hit him, and it was covered 2. And I said, oh my goodness, I may score, so I need to hold on to the rock.
Congratulations, Cordell. I know you have a lot of fans back in Colorado, and you showed them something other than a Buffalo uniform today.
Yes, I did. So I like to say hi to everybody back at, I guess I can say home in Colorado and also in New Orleans. And sorry we beat the Broncos, but hey, we had to do it.
We'll see you next week in New England. All right, Dick, let's send it back upstairs to you.
All right, Jim. Great job. Well, the Steelers defeat the Broncos, and Jerome Bettis, well, when you have all those people riding the bus, sometimes you get a refund. And that might have been Jerome's mother. It is his mother, we understand, from Detroit. She raised a family of bowlers. They're all outstanding on the lanes, but this guy, he just bowls over humans.